Yeah, it's a media stream. The first one I've done in like forever.
Well, it's never too late. Hmm.
The big problem is just that when I do it to myself, I have to take notes, and that takes.
Right. God, imagine ever taking notes on anything.
I know, no, and I get really autistic with the notes too. You know.
That's crazy. No way.
I know,
What could be
right?
spurring that on?
Someone in our friend group, uh, being what are they calling it these days? A Tylenol American?
Person of Tylenol, POT.
A pot. But other than that, yeah, but we're ready to stream. I'm just posting the link in places.
Nice, nice.
Hi Mark. I guess I'll post it in my server, even though my server isn't a public server anymore.
Oh, okay.
I converted it. I didn't want to deal with the hassle of an actual public server.
Right.
It's more like a
Well, we see what
collaborator.
that does to people.
It's more like a collaborator Discord at this. Yeah, I've seen way too many get canceled off of random shit happening in their Discord that they don't even know about.
It's a damn. Hate to see it. Well, not always. Sometimes it's actually really funny.
That's it. Especially if it's like somebody who's like always moralizing at people.
I mean, yeah, at a certain point, you either just gotta, like, okay, I'm never on here. You guys just want to like change the name and just you can have it.
Uh, but yeah. All right. So, this was actual. Was this the first anime I made you watch? Well, it was the original one was
I,
the.
well, yeah, it was the '90s one, which was pretty cool, but it definitely felt different by the end.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
very oh, okay,
it's a
that's where we're going.
typical
Oh, okay,
anime thing that happens where the manga isn't done, but they're adapting the manga in real. And so the anime
yeah, the
always outpaces.
overworked the, the anime slaves worked faster than the mangaka, so
Yep. We just whipped them a bit too hard. I'm sorry.
I mean the system works clearly. George R. R. Martin needs to be moved forcibly to Japan and put in an anime studio, and Winds of Winter will be done in a month.
His publisher needs to open a Japanese specifically for him. Hire
They need to
Japanese.
clone Hideki Tojo, okay, and just brief him on the situation, how many thousands of days it's been.
Well,
Make him read the books.
that's the thing, though. I feel like if you explain this to like a you know somebody in the Japanese corporate world, they like be like, no, wait, what do you mean he hasn't read the book in 10 years?
Oh, I'm sure Hidetaka Miyazaki is like, wait, oh, I thought you, oh, so when we talked, you said you were working on it, but you're like, you're not. Wow, oh, okay. I enabled you. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah, though, it's just one of those unfortunate things, especially, it's not as bad now. Nowadays, because, used to happen,
Nowadays they have rights.
no, they still don't have.
They have a couple.
No, what happens is, I think the anime industry has learned doing these shows for, like, 54 episodes when the manga isn't completely done, like, and just going week by week by week doesn't give them as good results as just doing a and then
Right.
waiting a while and then
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it was like just copying the success of other things, but those things had a lot more material, I imagine, so it worked out
well
when they did it weekly.
there's also manga creators that are just kind of work uh Oda is a good one. Oda, the guy who makes One Piece.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He like just doesn't take time off. Like
I mean, if you love what you do.
yeah, he's pretty consistent about getting those chapters out. Generally, from what I understand. There's other manga creators who will be like working on like 6 different series at once. They will get them out on time.
It's fucking wild how
Or
much
they
shit
will
those people
starve.
fucking do.
Rumiko Takahashi, I believe, is well known for being like basically like yeah, she works like an insane amount, and also on top of that is like a housewife.
I mean,
And she,
fucking night
I think
based.
there was one time there was a point where she posted her like daily schedule, and it was just fucking nuts. It was like she's getting like 4 hours of
I was gonna say, what's the sleep count?
look. If she was born like 30 years later,
Hmm.
but yeah, Helsing had that problem, but even then, a lot of the story is that it's interesting, right? Because a lot of the stuff that was in the original Helsing show is kind of just really like what the first 2 episodes of Helsing Ultimate.
I think so, yeah. They go through it pretty quickly. I mean, they focus on the things they need to focus on.
Yeah, and I remember thinking that this was just your I got a pretty good read on your personality, and this is that type of edgy that just uh,
Oh, it was perfect.
yeah, like that early
It's
2000 kind of 19 edgy, like
there's just it's the trench coats, the dark color palette,
smoking.
the gallons of blood, the giant swastikas on the floor and everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's something I really love. It's like just it's completely unashamed by kind of the ridiculous
It knows
premise
what
of
it
the
is.
bad guy. Yeah, it's like yeah, they're fighting Nazi vampires.
Who were hiding out in Argentina just like you thought they were.
To be fair, I don't think
Oh
anyone
my
predicted the vampire thing.
not everyone did. Some of us knew. I
I
gotta I
thought
gotta
they would
focus
go the
while
werewolf
we're on
route.
this. I do have to point out how it was just they take the time to like really hang on the giant swastika on the like marble floor. Like I really appreciate like, oh, by the way, in case you weren't clear,
Yes, these are
they're called Millennium in reference to the 1,000-year Reich. That fucking killed me.
uh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. Well, it's especially in the context of like in my head, I'm always thinking like how Call of Duty World at War had everything as like reasonably authentic, and it was, you really got into it. And then Call of Duty World War II, like, in the mid 2010s, oh, it's only Iron Crosses, and they have like random assortment of people as everyone's soldiers, and it just seems so, ugh, it's just sanitized.
Well, yeah,
And then, in
it's
the context
whitewashing
of knowing
history.
that exists,
It's kind of
yeah, and
whitewashing
then
everything.
right, but then I watch this, I'm like, oh, there we go. Now we're back. We're
Yeah.
we're back to a sensible time.
Well,
Okay. When
and all of the Millennium vampires, they are like monsters in the truest sense of the word. Like,
oh, of course. Well,
like
their their entire goal is essentially like a protracted like suicide attack on Europe.
oh, it's a protracted suicide attack on Alucard.
Well, it's under the guise of it being Europe. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
think if I remember correctly, it's well, I mean, if we don't get stopped in England, we'll just keep going. But
I guess if we take out Alucard and there's still enough of us, I guess we might
fuck
as
it.
well take Europe.
I mean, why not?
What are they gonna do? Throw the Catholic Church at us?
I do. Oh yeah. I forgot. That's right. They have the proper Catholic attire when they go to cleanse London. I really oh, I love this fucking anime.
Yeah, it's but it's like that proper 19. It's very World of Darkness too. I would say that uh as far as like the actual series and very like Vampire the Masquerade world.
I really wish I knew more about that.
There's some
I mean,
cool.
I picked up some things from like cultural osmosis from like watching some people play it and stuff, but I mean, it does seem like an interesting setting.
I have the rule book. I haven't never yet, uh, but I have the rule book for which is
Mhm.
essentially it's a Vampire the Masquerade. It's in the same setting as Vampire the Masquerade. You're playing the humans. You're playing the
Oh,
people who hunt like vampires and werewolves and things that go bump in them.
hmm.
It's really cool idea. I like the idea of that because like that's something I really appreciate with that system and that setting. They have rule books for basically like every party involved. Like you've got rule books for the wolves, got rule books for the mages, I believe. It,
Sounds nice and thorough, if nothing else.
and there is a type of hunter you can be where your big rule is money. So what you'll do is, for example, you're facing off against vampires. What you'll do is buy the building that they're hiding out in during the day. Then you just demolish it while they're still asleep.
That's not a terrible idea.
No, because it's like, well, in that
What are they gonna
setting,
do?
yeah, exactly. What are they gonna do? Kill me? Probably if they survive this. So I better make sure they don't survive. But yeah, Hellsing is very much kind of that type of world where, look, make no mistake, the vampires are monsters.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't really try to humanize them. If anything, I feel like they're going the opposite route with Seras and her character arc throughout the story. But they're
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah,
Where it's almost like to be a human at this point is to like kind of not you're missing the point of what you're able to do here,
not
and by
only
not taking advantage of it, you're just going to get people killed. That's part of it, at least.
yeah, well, and not only that you're hindering yourself. You're not doing you can and you have to just accept the fact you are not a human. You are
Well, yeah,
not a normal being.
this is what this is what the deal is. So you mean you kind of shit or get off the pot. Eh?
Yeah, it's that it really much is that, and I actually kind of appreciate that because of how I get kind of sick of how many times within the story the idea is like, oh no, no, look, see, you are still human, and Helsing meanwhile is like, no, no, you're a monster. You gotta have to accept you're a monster. You can still do good things as a monster.
Yeah, who said being a monster has to be a bad thing?
Yeah. So I guess maybe we'll get into like very kind of going over the plot, and then we'll just talk about things as we go. That's usually how I
Yeah,
tend to do. So yeah, the first episode start off with a what seems to be a priest has taken over a kind of he walked basically a mysterious priest walked into a church, started converting people to ghouls, and our main character as the police arrive and try to wrangle them.
I forget. Do they have guns or no?
The
Because
the
this.
police do have guns.
Oh, well, how unrealistic. This is the UK.
To be fair, they're like a SWAT team specifically, so they are
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
specifically. Yeah, if anyone is going to have guns in the British police, it's probably going to be these guys.
I think they have a specific name for them too, but that's whatever.
Yeah. I think so. It's gonna be some kind of like explanation of here it is. I found a good way of thing that's synopsis is it, but actually just I'm just remembering as I look at this. Yeah, I forgot the synopsis doesn't start with that. The beginning of the show, this series, start with that. That's the beginning in the original, but that's kind of the That's kind of the not the opening scene, but the scene right after the opening. The first scene is kind of getting flashbacks to Integra's backstory. The
Right.
leader of Hellsing.
Right.
Yeah, I believe the idea is that her uncle is looking to take over the family.
Right. He wants to. What is it? Oh, let me see. It ends up being that he's basically like he doesn't. Well, obviously he doesn't trust some fucking little fucking teenage girl to fucking run things. I forget how much sour grapes might play into it too. Like if it was
Yeah,
like a
because her father appointed her the new headmaster of the family,
right,
and he who, it's funny, the wiki specifically states, waited for his brother to die for over 20 years to be the head of Helsing. That sounds like
I
somebody,
spent 20 years in the can.
yes, doesn't, that's right, the Britain's current character. Except that he waited even longer. But yeah, basically, from what I gather, Walter just happened to be away, uh, so the brother was hunting her down, basically so that he could murder her, take over the family, take over the organization, and Alucard, and blood awakens him.
And that's the nice little intro to the one of God's little reminders that he truly loves us.
Yes. And then we stop. We after that, and after that whole situation is resolved, that we go to the Cheddar Village, uh, which, by the way, the wiki actually gives me dates. So Alucard was woken up in 1989. Cheddar Village is 1999. So this is 10 years separating it.
Okay, interesting. There's actually dates.
Yeah, probably dates harvested from the manga.
Okay.
But yeah, like it is kind of tragic what happens with the this SWAT team. I I don't know. They seem like a SWAT team. They seem way too well equipped to be like ordinary police officers. Plus, it's Britain, so
It might be something between like a proper SWAT team and like cops. Like they might just have like cops with guns, but with a more formal name.
true. Uh,
So it's like you're more than just like a peace officer, but you're not quite like as trained as SWAT, you know? I don't
yeah.
know if that's something that actually exists, but
We have you actually try to solve the crimes instead of
hmm.
instead of
No, a
just
social worker could have handled this, okay?
yes, the social worker should have handled the vampire. Make the vampire tell you about his daddy issues.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. Look, all right. They're having trouble making ends meet. All right.
But yeah, it's interesting too with this whole situation because you get some important information from the whole uh exchange. But also, Seras, you have Seras having to run, basically being the last person standing. Uh, and like th- this is clearly her first encounter with the supernatural. When the vampire eventually catches her, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna suck your blood, I'm, he's like, I'm gonna rape you first because I don't want you to turn into a vampire." Which is where
Fucking.
when we get the information about the vampire, like that's a specific thing with the vampires. You only turn into a vampire if you're a virgin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like a core thing. And though I assume that the Nazis' way of turning people into vampires is different.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's not. It's not
Oh,
a
the
natural thing with
Bonnie and
them.
Clyde couple probably were not virgins. They became vampires.
Probably not.
Like if nobody else, those two. But yeah, and we get shots of the main of the coolest the character that just steals the show.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
it's interesting because he is one of those characters who has good casting in both the dub and the sub.
It's always
Like
nice when they line up.
yeah, yeah, because his voice in the dub is very like suave too. It's kind of it's cool. It matches the character very well, and uh, that's not always the case for anime. But yeah,
I think.
it's funny because
Yeah.
Alucard is so calm, like doesn't give a shit, like a day at the office.
Hmm.
You were saying something?
Oh no, I was gonna think of like examples of just odd castings for like dubs.
It happens
I feel
all the time. There's like uh the
they had the
guy.
guy who voiced Vegeta in the Dragon Ball dub, Sabbath, right?
Yeah, yeah, Babbitt.
They had him voice Dio, which was
He's
weird
he's one of those
because
actor. He's one of those actors in the voice acting scene that, especially with Funimation, there's a lot of like nepotism, favoritism with it. Has been kind of
I mean
well done.
he's like famous, but it just his voice is very particular, and for someone like Dio, it just seemed like a strange pick.
Yeah, he has like a several voices, and I've liked him as a voice actor before. Uh,
Yeah, he's not bad. It was just,
yeah, but I, from what I know of Dio, I don't think I would.
I mean, you're going up against Takahito Koyasu. You're going to be compared to his performance, so you're always going to be at a disadvantage because he's just the perfect voice for Dio.
Well, the other big problem with a lot of anime dubs is English voice acting kind of sphere didn't really take it as seriously until like relatively recently.
Yeah, there's that going on a little bit.
Whereas,
I don't think Chris Sabat had that problem at least. But I'm always in my head. I'm hearing it like, why is Vegeta voicing Dio? This just feels. Trying to think of a comparison of like a weird person to play Dracula. Like,
Jack Black.
I was more thinking like, well, imagine like Liam Neeson doing his Taken voice, but Dracula. Like that'd be really weird,
You have
you
to
know?
also make him do like a bad Romanian accent.
The Irish is fucking up his attempt at Romanian, so it's like I don't even know what that would sound like. Oh,
Yeah. Hellsing is just one of the few exceptions, and it's probably because I don't know if it was just because it was an OVA, but uh, or rather, Ultimate was. But I don't know. I think they used the same casting for Alucard, if I'm not mistaken, in the anime and the OVA.
Hmm.
I might be misremembering that. I'd have to go back and watch dub. But yeah, either way, yeah, the Cheddar Village thing. One of the funniest things too with it was you have like you have all this like you have the introduction to Alucard is really cool because just him calmly walks up and is just like, oh hey, nice night for a walk, huh? I'm here to kill you.
Hmm. He has such a wonderful, wonderful energy about him.
Well, it's especially funny because he doesn't bother like he could dodge or like avoid any of these attacks. He doesn't even fucking bother. He just lets the priest have them shoot him, and then he just like gets back up and he's like, "Okay, it's my turn now." And then I've always found it particularly interesting too with he's very cold hearted with how he handles the situation with Seras being well, I think he's immediately intrigued because Seras was the only one person left standing.
Yeah.
I think there's a little of, oh well, why did you when none of the others did? Uh, especially because it's clear that this isn't where all the others were turned.
Yeah. Like
And
there's more going on here.
yeah, I've always felt like his my view of his reason for being interested in her at first is like it's like, oh, this well, especially because we learn later Alucard's view of people and or even suicide is very negative. So I think he respects her like instinct to survive and her drive to survive. She hasn't like shut down, hasn't given
Right.
just. It's really funny because he just like casually like, "Hey, are you a virgin?" Which out of context just is really funny. Like she gets flustered and he's like, "Oh, perfect!" Blows a hole in her. All right, I'm gonna turn her now.
Oh, you're perfect. You have the job.
No, you didn't. Well, the other interesting thing here that I think is very character is interesting character wise is he gives her the option to turn. Now, it does it after there's a hole in her, but still, like he does like give her that choice. And I feel like it's very much a character thing where he might have interesting. I feel like if you could sit down with Alucard and talk to him, have interesting views on the whole and dead and immortal. I don't think it'd
I'm
be like
sure.
I always get annoyed when it's just simplified to immortality bad or
Yeah, that it does, especially because that's often just kind of the more maybe common something. It's certainly something that gets kind of put a lot though, eh? That's usually the conclusion a lot of people come to,
when
which is understandable, but
my view has always been like, well, look, you have to take the positives with the negative.
there's yeah, there's give and take on that one.
And it's funny too because Seraph is just always referred to as police girl. You know what I wish we could get? Maybe it is in the manga or something, but you know what I really wish we could get is the conversation between Integra and Alucard after he turned Seras. I like the idea. It's just like, hey, I brought a newbie. What do you mean a newbie? You
You
know he
you
didn't ask
fucking what,
permission.
mate?
You know he didn't ask for permission for
No, you never ask permission, you ask forgiveness.
that. And Alucard is very much the type of subordinate that does that.
Oh, absolutely.
This is probably why Integra seems to have aged pretty. Like, it was what, like 16 flashback? She's only 26, but she looks like she's like 38.
I mean, smoking, yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Smoking plus the stress of dealing with Alucard's bullshit. But yeah, after it's if I recall correctly, this also takes into account her kind of initially trying to kind of integrate into being a vampire too, because it's like they yeah. Oh, okay. So the episode goes on through that to Anderson. I guess is there anything for the other scenes? I don't think there's anything particularly interesting to talk about with the uh Bonnie and Clyde stuff. They're kind of just there.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's keeping it in because I think it shows that there's a passage of time and
Yeah.
there's a new sort of thing, a new dynamic. That's the word that I was
Well,
looking
it
for.
it it also helps forward the also helps forward the actual plot with the artificial vampire.
Right,
They are a major aspect of everything.
right. It all fits together. Actually, do we have? I want to look up an image of what the little chips look like because I swear I remember something about them. You can keep going. I'm just gonna look this up real quick.
Yeah, but I thought it was particularly interesting too, just how offended Alucard is by the artificial vampire. No, he's John Bloodborne. Iron, he is John Bloodborne. He is not from Hellsing. He is not part of the Hellsing organization.
Unfortunately, I was I was right. Okay. Hold
He
on.
he's only a temp. Oh, the face?
It's an internship.
I don't think the face is from Hellsing, is it?
Wait, what?
The face of your PSP. I'm pretty sure it's
No,
from.
no, it
Oh,
is. It's from. So I looked up images of the player character from Bloodborne, and one of them was a cool little like model that you can like put on your desk or whatever. So I took that and put my PFP over the face.
yeah. Party or Iron is in chat and he's talking about your actual
Ah, yes.
asking
No,
if
it,
that's
it,
from.
it is.
I don't think it
The
is.
the the hunters are not. They perform a similar task.
Yeah, but I think he means the.
Oh, that. Oh, no, that's from I've had to tell this a few times because people always wonder. So it's from a like a meme fan comic that someone made about Initial D.
I
It's
was
the
gonna say
multi-track drifting meme.
I vaguely it was related to
If you
initial.
look up the multi-track drifting meme, you'll see it.
I have to watch it.
I remember I've seen a bit of it. It's pretty neat.
I mean, maybe I'll put that on the docket at some point.
It's got a bit of a following. Great music. But I remembered something about the freak chips. Just I posted it in the little chat. Do you notice anything that's maybe a little bit of a hint about what's
Uh oh, did you post it in?
In the call.
Ah, yeah. I would have to remember to pull that up. Yep. Uh, I do remember that. I just saw the swastika.
Yeah, I know it's subtle, but it's in there.
Actually, wait, do I
I
put this
remember
on screen?
you could.
I mean, fuck it, I'll do it.
I mean, it's just an image from the thing.
It's an image regarding the thing talked about. Obviously we disavow any
Huh?
political movement involved in it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, sure. Fuck you.
Someone. It was too easy.
Yeah, party is catboyism. Glad to hear.
Oh my goodness. Oh well, everyone is these days.
But yeah, no, I didn't see it originally. That's the interesting thing. This is actually them being thorough because you look at it initially without thinking of what it is. It probably helps that it's like you're seeing it from the side, so it's not because once
It's
you
slightly off center.
yeah once you like turn your head, you see yeah.
I mean, I'm the kind of person who noticed if you look at the Columbia clothing logo, you ever just look at that and go, "Oh,
No.
wait a minute. If you connect the lines the
Of
right way,
course.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's strange. I'm sure there's an explanation.
But yeah, I showed it on the screen. Yeah, the other thing with the chips that's interesting is the characters don't pick up on it either.
Most normal people don't. Wonder what that says about me.
Well, I only noticed it because I like looked at it and already knowing the plot, it like connected. God, I'm totally normal, guys. Don't worry about it. Pay no attention to the fact that I'm friends with Party.
I was gonna say, pay no attention to the fact you're here with me,
But
certified John Normal.
the other interesting thing is they have like these weirdly like intricate lines to them. And Alucard also kind of cites the fact that they are very incomplete. Like he even lists like a lot of different like abilities vampires should have. It's stuff like turning into gas, turning into a bat.
Right.
And he's just like offended that these guys have the gall to call themselves vampires. Like, look, professionals have standards.
Hey, you guys suck. You're not even getting like the good shit here. You're getting the off brand. You're
it's
you're
like,
getting the dollar store.
holy shit, he's like, these are like the Chinese knockoff vampires.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Timu vampire.
That's the word I was looking for. Fucking Timu vampirism, yeah.
But
Watered down.
it's interesting, right? Because, uh, do we know if we have to assume that the Colonel is the vampire at this point? Because
I think so, yeah.
yeah, like, although, like, Nazis have to already be vampires.
To at least some extent.
Yeah, so maybe this is supposed to. Maybe it, it's isn't really explained how they're still doing testing out this tech now. Unless maybe it's specifically for they don't want them as strong as like their guys.
Maybe.
Yeah, because like also Schrodinger clearly outside of just being a vampire, he has all this other. He has clearly has something else going on with his whole immortality, basically.
He's not even like corporeal.
Well, oh, Schrodinger, given where we know these vampires have been hit, kind of let.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could just call him Fuentes.
No, he actually that's not fair. That's just wants to fuck the cat boy.
That's true. He wishes.
Fuentes is Dream Boy. Okay, I see what you mean. But
Yeah, I know, right? Once you see it, you're like, oh shit,
yeah, I'm like,
right? Like, you see the regular logo, you're like, oh, that's just like what, like 8 little lines, and they're like some of them are parallel, but then you connect it in just the right spot. You're like, oh, that's
oh,
weird.
uh, why is
Interesting.
also Iron wants to point out that wait, if you saying my favorite movie is Birth of the saying your favorite movie,
Wait, what's he saying my favorite movie is? Hold on.
Birth of a Nation.
Oh, I've never even seen it,
I've I,
which some people might find hard to believe, but I truly haven't.
I've heard it's kind of mid.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine really, really old movies from way back then that are like silent pictures. It's not that they're not all bad. And hashtag not all,
But
but like
enough of
the craft was new. The
enough
craft
of
was new.
enough of this edginess. Let's go back to let's
Yeah, the
go
proper.
back. Yeah, I don't want to actually drive off viewers for shit posting. No, we
It's
don't have
lovely.
much. This is probably gonna be one of those super ones.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep, it is
This
what
is
it
for the
is.
love of the game.
Yeah, though.
Well, you do one for them, do one for you. You know, right?
Yeah. Well, the other one I think we
One for
get
them,
is
one for me.
yeah, because this one is split into three different plot points, basically. So you have you have the I believe it's basically the so you have those two. Arc Monk. Are we fucking up? Getting out?
Who? What's happening?
I don't. That, it might be on his end.
Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? Refresh, loser.
Okay, yeah, it's on his end. Okay.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Not on my end. I don't hear me cutting out. Or wait,
Am
is
I
my
cutting out?
audio cutting out? Like, cause that might be a noise gate issue.
I mean, you sound fine in the call.
Yeah, you.
Now, if I'm cutting out, well, then this isn't exactly the fanciest hardware I have on my I'm wearing right now.
Your voice comp.
Hey,
Oh,
what?
I said you have a really good voice, though. I don't.
Well, sure. I don't have a great mic though.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can fix. Okay, cause now I'm hearing. Right.
What do you think it is?
I think it might be my.
Uh,
All right. Well, we'll work with it. Test, 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 test. All right. There we go. All right. I also. Okay. I sound louder. Yeah. Do I still sound
okay.
good? All right. All right.
I
I
mean,
put back
still
on the
good for
pop
me.
filter.
Hmm.
All right. Well,
Nice.
All right, yeah, okay, I sound fine. All right. So anyway, yeah, the next one is just Alucard looking at these fucking youngsters and like you are it's funny. It's like it's
Degenerate Zoomers.
yes, degenerate zoomers. Okay, hold on. I need to shut myself up on stream now.
Huh?
No, because I tuned my into myself to check the audio.
Okay.
But then I always get distracted when I hear myself because I like interrupt my own thoughts.
Yeah, it can be a little weird.
But yeah, so we got the Birmingham incident, which I believe is essentially those two, and then we also get another incident where it's just like a house full of ghouls, and we meet one of the other core characters of the story, a certain priest.
Yes.
Alexander Anderson.
I feel I'm pretty sure he's voiced by the same guy who voiced Stroheim in fucking JoJo, which is he was fun, so
Oh
it
yeah,
was very
no,
good casting.
no. The character's casting is just fantastic with Anderson. Yeah, both in the I like his dub voice actor, but I think his original voice actor just steals the show. Yeah, his original voice. Anderson's Japanese voice actor is just amazing.
Really likes to ham it up.
Yeah, which is kind of what you want for this.
Oh, absolutely.
Norio Wakamoto, I believe is his name. I'm probably not pronouncing
Now
that
that I
right.
know that. Nonsense. I'm sure it was pronounced flawlessly.
That is true. Everything I say automatically becomes the correct pronunciation, as we know.
Here we go. I'm looking him up here on IMDb.
Yeah,
Just to,
because I've always wondered, and I will look up the English voice actor because I think he's also pretty good.
he was in Cowboy Bebop. Okay.
Oh, who did he voice in Cowboy Bebop?
Let me see. Vicious.
Oh, oh, and
Interesting.
the
He's got quite
English
the fucking filmography.
is somebody named Stephen Brand.
Hmm.
Who I'm not familiar with. Oh, is this the same guy? 'Cause he's done like nothing. Oh wait, no, he's done a lot, but it's like a lot of like minor roles. He voiced in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Oh, yep, it is the right guy. Okay, he played a character in NCIS for an episode. He's not he's that typical like mid-level actor who like appears in a
Does a
bunch of
ton of yeah.
yeah. He's like your jobber version of an actor, if you know what I mean. Like he just
Hmm.
pops in for a gig, but he's not really iconic in anything.
Not like an A-lister.
No, no, this is the type of guy that like fucking clocks in and out. Basically, he was in 7 episodes of Teen Wolf.
Yo.
He was he was in The Order 1886.
Oh no. Oh my god, I remember when that fucking came out. There were some really funny memes back then.
He was he's credited as additional voices in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Is it in English or
Uh
Japanese?
no, this is for the English voice actor.
Okay.
You he he voiced Van Drac in Immortals of Avium. I don't even know what that game is.
Oh my God, he voiced in Berserk
Did he?
in 1997. He did Gambino.
Oh, I didn't scroll down that far.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of. Oh, what?
Yeah, this guy seems to be just like that's the thing.
He's all over the place. Well, good for him. Seems like he's still getting work today, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he did a good job at least in this role.
No, absolutely.
Now, the problem is obviously he's going up against like just really he's going up against somebody who's just unashamedly going to ham it up.
Oh, of course.
So, it is what it is.
Mutually assured Hammond.
But yeah, yeah, and with Anderson here too, because this is our first introduction of him, and our first introduction of him is him stabbing. He gets a sneak attack on Seras, and he full on decapitates Alucard. I'd say he gets a pretty like impressive introduction, and I do actually think
Oh
his
yeah,
role. He is
he
probably
definitely is portrayed as like a significant entity
yeah.
going
Well,
forward.
his role within the church, he probably is like it's between him and Maxwell for our most significant characters uh when it comes to the Catholic Church, but he's definitely probably the most important character for the Catholics.
Well, I mean, at least in terms of the audience is concerned, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think he outlives Maxwell, so not by much, but
That's not very hard to do.
oh my god, though. I'm looking at his IMDb and his so aliases for Alexander Anderson, Father Anderson, Paladin Anderson, Hitman Anderson, Bayonet Anderson, Killing Judge Anderson, Angel Dust Anderson, Monster Killing Paladin, Kill 'Em All Ideologist, Iscariot's Trump Card, Iscariot's Joker, Judas Priest, Judas Assassin, Agent Anderson, Freak of Nature, Cathedral Knight, The Regenerator, God's Monster, Teacher, Father, Beloved, Mortal Foe by Alucard, Catholic Christian. Breaker of Chains Anderson, Mother of Dragons Anderson Stormborn. That's what Ark says.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly. He's got all these names. I kind of like it because they hype him up so much. Like they clearly want to hype Anderson up because there's almost like it's like this false equivalency they're building up, or false rivalry they're building up between him and Alucard, right? At this
Right.
point, where it's like, oh my god, they're having a standoff. Oh my god, he seemed to have decapitated Alucard, and then obviously Alucard is just fine. And then like, yeah, basically it becomes a stalemate where they both of their bosses have to get involved. Fucking the parents showed up to break it up. Uh, but yeah, I, I think he's like a particularly interesting character, especially with where they go with him and how they hype him up, because he is very much a true believer, and I just love. He's another point where it's like that, like early 2000s, 90s sort of portrayal of a zealot. Every time he appears on screen, he's giving some kind of fucking prayer. or basically every time he talks, he's basically giving a sermon. You know, that type of character. It's not the type you get nowadays.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, he's well known for that amen line. Amen.
Oh yeah. No, he totally fucking owns that.
Yes. Yes, and I just find it particularly interesting with his character. Because, yeah, it's like, at this point, they're trying to hype him up as though he's kind of Alucard's equal. And to be fair, you can tell Alucard respects him a whole lot. Alucard is almost like, check out this guy. Look at him go.
Look at look at him go.
Look at him go. It's adorable. He doesn't back down. He's willing to threaten me. He even, like, decapitated me. I love this guy.
Mm. I mean, I think up to that point, he's the only person who's even like
Uh,
successfully inconvenienced him.
well, the only other thing you could probably say is the priest in the beginning, but Alucard literally let that happen.
Well, yeah.
Like, Alucard let that happen to make a point, essentially. He did that. He let the guy essentially have his ghoul minions pump him full of lead just to prove, like, hey, just so you know, uh,
Right.
I can just get up from this. Yeah, you're just like a little baby vampire. I'm not afraid of you. But I guess the other things to note here with this whole incident, because I believe most of this all kind of ends with episode 2, and kind of carries on into episode 2. But basically, uh yeah, Alucard just gets, he does just get better, and this is kind of where you learn exactly, like, how far his immortality seems to spend. It's interesting. The first few episodes of the series are just kind of hyping up Alucard.
Which I suppose plays into the ending of quite a bit.
Yeah. We also got Seras getting particularly bloodthirsty in the fight against the ghouls. That was another thing, I think, where it's like ties into her arc. It's very clear that it is her humanity versus the monster she actually is kind of fighting.
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked it's the reverse of it. Because one of the things that they do in Vampire the Masquerade, to tie it kind of back into that conversation, is the idea that, yeah, the vampires are monsters. However, they can be worse monsters. And a lot of it is kind of keeping their monstrous nature in check. And I've always liked that
It's kind of
aspect.
a thing with vampires in general, right? That like the outward appearance is that of a person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the anglerfish lure.
Yeah, and also with vampires, the other big thing about them is kind of that yeah, the outward appearance is a person, but also on top of that, how much of a person they are varies so drastically.
Right.
So, I believe the opening prologue of the next episode, though, after the whole Anderson thing, because basically this doesn't get resolved. It's like the church and the Helsing organization staring each other down, and then like they get interrupted before Anderson and Alucard can actually have a real fight. I think, if I remember, Alucard gets his like gun sliced, but He seems he seems to be like just like, oh fuck yeah, this guy's actually serious about trying to kill me. This is like the most fun I've had for in decades.
Exactly.
Probably a century or so. And we actually flash back, I believe, in the this episode to one of his past lives, which was him as a certain vampire people might know of.
Hmm.
Because yeah, it entirely confirms he is Dracula. And the the flashback was, oh my god, Integra's ancestor. Who would have guessed?
Madness. Impossible.
And one of the things I find particularly interesting with the vampires too, they have a lot of different like names and terms and words for them. You have like the Dracula, Draculina. You have
Hmm.
No Life King. That's something that Alucard
Hmm.
gets called at one point. You have like obviously the vampire. Like I I don't know. I always like it when they aren't worried about hamming things up with the different ways people are referred to,
Yeah.
but also just in general, like this is probably you can assume this was like the last time Alucard was full on defeated, and he that's when he was bound to the Helsing organization. It is interesting. I
It certainly
believe
makes you wonder how that went down.
Yeah, because I believe this second episode, that's the mansion attack, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Because I think a lot of these early episodes are going to be a lot more drawn out because it kind of this show is one of those ones that it's like it starts off like broad different events and then it kind of starts squeezing in on the same like night.
Hmm.
And I don't know if we're gonna be able to go episode by episode this way completely. So uh, the
Probably not, but that's fine.
I think it might be more meaningful for me to just switch to broad descriptions. So yeah, basically there's a meaning of the different. I guess knights is kind of how it's framed, which or I guess it's supposed to be different lords, whatever. But it's like people that the Helsing organization answer to, which includes obviously Integra herself is involved there. But yeah, because they are obviously a branch of you know the England's government. They are an actual like official organization. Uh, Alucard is essentially consigned to his basement. The basement. He's got put in the cuck chair by Integra. But
He's
yeah,
staying in his room while guests are over.
yes, exactly. Look, he got locked in the kennel.
Hmm.
And the I believe this is also we also have Seras getting talked to about the sleeping in the coffin thing and the fact she seems to refuse to even do that and how that's affecting her strength. It's interesting, like every kind of resistance she has to being a vampire seems to only hinder her more. That's something and most of her like moments of like being particularly powerful is when she's kind of giving into that. I I've noticed that as like a especially early on. I noticed that with Ceres is like it's her arguing with Walter and this is where we learn about the coffins and stuff. Like that they need to sleep in a coffin with the dirt of their homeland.
It's very classic kind of vampire stuff.
I like kind of what they decided to keep and what they decided to leave.
Yeah.
And
But,
yeah, her bed was replaced, but also she is also kind of confined to her room while guests are over.
hmm.
It makes you wonder, what did Alucard do in the past? Because you know he did something. You know he showed up to fuck around with the fucking the knights
Walked
or
through a
the
wall
lords.
at the wrong time.
Yeah, definitely. He did something like that. What was that?
Hmm.
You have something growling.
Oh no, there's a dog that's asleep on my lap.
I sympathize. I apologize for any pupper noises, chat.
Here, I'll lean back because you weren't hearing it before.
No, I almost thought that was my dog, and I was like, because sometimes he'll be like asleep in the background and he'll snore. Bulldogs will do that. But yeah, I believe we also this is also where we get Walter get giving out the new toys.
Oh, that's right, the upgrades, the cannon.
Yes, the cannon. No, it's funny too, right? I have the scene I have the scene pulled up, right? And it's a 30 millimeter cannon.
It's an anti-tank rifle.
It is.
Like what? Isn't it like there's special depleted uranium rounds too?
I believe so. It uses two
I
kinds
think
of
those are his
shell:
options.
depleted uranium and exploding steel incendiary. So you have options. I just love that too because it sounds like the type of thing that it's like these absurd overkill for basically anything, but then the fact is like this isn't meant to be
Not for
used on
tanks.
yeah, well also like this isn't meant to be used on tanks or people. This is meant to be used on vampires.
Can never be too careful.
To be fair, some of the vampires we see, I feel like it might be a bit of underkill. Though that's mostly
Yeah.
Alucard. Like, it would be underkill against Alucard.
Well, yeah.
But then again, I guess, uh, with the exception of tanks, it destroys all ground or air weaponry. This shit is literally meant to shoot down helicopters. The funniest thing is, Seras is like, why the hell would I need that? It's like, you know why you did that. Come on. But outside of that, we get the Valentine brothers kind of approaching the place very casually. And I've always found them really funny because of how cocky they are. They're,
And this is when we get the aforementioned Takahito Koyasu voicing a vampire. Nice. Always a treat.
oh yeah.
It's funny, I'd never heard that he did this before. Like, I watched this. No one ever mentioned it. Whenever, like, oh, he's great as Dio. No one ever mentioned, like, oh, he's voiced a vampire before, by the
Is he voicing the what was his
the
name?
fancy one, not the
Yeah, yeah.
Chad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I assumed he wasn't voicing the Chav.
No.
It's funny because they do refer to each other as brother, so I don't know if they're related or maybe they were adopted. But yeah, you get the two of them doing their thing. And it's always particularly been interesting to me, like the different character designs for vampires, especially these vampires who are kind of like one-shot characters.
Right.
Yeah, like they they have like really cool designs to them and like unique outfits and stuff like that, but they are kind of just throwaway characters. And it's also funny to me they brought like a bus full of like ghouls with military grade hardware to just attack the Helsing organization. Because this is the one.
It's certainly a plan.
Oh yeah. Funny enough, I think they came under equipped, not for facing all the human guards. Honestly, it's kind of surprising that the humans involved with the Helsing organization were able to be beaten as easily as they are. I feel like they'd have better personnel.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's. I suppose I forget. Hmm. I think everyone's on. It's not like some of them are off base. I think most of them are on base, right?
I think so. Yeah, because that all of the personnel dying at the mansion is why then they have to hire the mercenaries.
Right.
So brings in like one of my other favorite characters of the whole show,
Hmm.
the French mercenary guy. But yeah, they have an army of ghouls like marching on the place, and you get that report from the uh the main room. It's kind of funny because Integra isn't too worried, but then we know, like, for example, she has Walter, she has Alucard, she has Seras. Uh, if anything, like I said, I feel like Helsing should have a few more, like, badasses in there with, like,
I mean,
absurd
maybe.
capabilities.
I mean, I suppose maybe the idea is that there just hasn't been enough going on before recently to warrant such a thing.
I guess we never see them try to deal with anything outside of vampires, but we know they do. We know they do handle non-vampire events, I believe. Like it's implied, I'm pretty sure.
Helsing took out Osama.
Probably. Proof he wasn't a vampire. We never did bring that body back.
That's true. Buried at sea. Suspicious.
Exactly. So he was clearly just a vampire, and they were covering that up.
Yeah, Megatron got buried at sea too. How'd that go?
He got better. Probably.
Well, I mean, he did.
But yeah, the Valentine brothers plan, actually, when you come think about it, it's pretty simplistic. So maybe it's just the Helsing organization just never expected like a direct assault. Like they
What
did.
helps that almost no one really knows about them.
Yeah, nobody knows about them, and all the people who do are it's this interesting thing where the Valentine brothers have obviously been so hyped up by others, which is really
Yeah, you
funny.
guys got this.
Yes, you guys got this. Don't worry, Alucard. We're sending you to kill Alucard because we know you can. You can do it, guys.
You're going. Oh yeah, you're gonna take Stalingrad. Don't worry, it'll be easy.
Yes, it basically is
Six
that.
weeks at most. 6 weeks at most, and you'll be back home.
Well, you can also go to like World War I, where they have like a lot of like, oh, this is the
Yeah,
plan
we'll
that's gonna
wrap this
end
up
the
by
war.
Christmas.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up by Christmas. This is the plan that's gonna end the war. Don't worry, lads. We'll be home soon.
Just another 10 feet, okay? Just another 10 feet. We got this.
I know your last three captains died, but don't worry, I'll live. I'll carry us to victory, lads. It very much feels like that, but it's funny because it works for all the like human personnel. Because obviously nobody's gonna be like ready and equipped to actually like fight off this invasion, right? Outside of like the ones that are either inhuman or Walter, who
Right.
is basically inhuman. Walter is just like that guy, you know. That's kind of the interesting thing. His like wire stuff is just absurdly powerful.
Well, certainly it has that element of like what I can't even see what you don't see what's happening until it's too late. Yeah.
Yep, and I mean, like we see him, especially later on during the actual invasion of London, be like absurdly powerful. Let alone like some of the other stuff that's coming. But yeah, you do have Integra kind of calling up her people, but also kind of calling up Walter. And Walter's like, "Yeah, look, you guys just barricade the doors. Don't worry, we'll take care of this. I got this. Don't worry. Just barricade the doors, and the rest of us will take care of it." It is kind of funny because yeah, this is also right after he gave Seras the gun, and Sarah. I think this is the first time she uses it, and she just uses it against uh the uh the ghouls with the riot shield to great effect.
Bitches love cannons.
Yes. Oh, the
Oh
bear.
fuck, that's an anti-tank rifle. Oh fuck, that's an anti-tank rifle.
I mean, I'm sorry, you brought a bunch of a bunch of men with automatic weapons and riot shields to an anti-tank rifle fight, but like you did. It's interesting too, right? Because the Shav guy, I always forget his name because he's so not important. The other Valentine brother, yeah,
His name is not important. What is important is what he's going to do.
he's such a like he's the real like cocky bitch of the two, right? But they're both super cocky.
Yeah.
Uh, but he is like so confident and cocky, and then it's really funny once they actually get Theros in front of her. She just fucking bodies him by essentially putting him into a chokehold. Walter is even surprised. He's like, "Where did you learn that hold?" And she's like, I was a cop." What do you mean?
You don't know?
Like, oh, it kind of is funny because like everyone calls her police girl for a reason. But it's funny, right? Because this attack is hyped up as like, oh, these two are really dangerous, and then the funniest thing is like with how cocky the Valentine brothers are, uh, when they eventually get to Alucard is like, oh shit, I have to use slightly more than like my casual power. Okay, well, that directive has been lifted. Now I could just summon like my demon dog and stick him on you. It's very casual how Alucard just demolishes him because he still has no respect for any of these chip vampires, right?
Oh no, they're phonies.
Well, not only that, but I think he has even less respect for this one once he starts running away. That seems to be a
Yeah, it's
consistent
the
thing.
like you got elevated and you're still just gonna run away, really? Fucking A.
Well, it's basically like, you know what? I'm not even gonna kill you myself. And you can play with my dog.
Hmm.
He can eat you. I'm not gonna fucking dirty my hands with you. I just love that. I just saw I just saw what Iron posted in that Discord.
Yeah.
He posted the picture of the chip and said,
Well, it's a picture from the show. I don't know what's the problem.
"Yeah, yeah, it's I don't see anything. The
Yeah,
computer
yeah.
chip."
Yeah. What are you reading into? Yeah, maybe you're the problem here. Okay, no one else sees anything.
Well, but even if there is something there, it's not an endorsement. We're talking about a TV show where the Nazis are the bad guys.
Yeah. Ignore the part where I was enjoying the fact.
I mean, look. All jokes aside, it's just one of the classic movie slash video game slash story
Oh
bad
yeah,
guys, right?
totally.
Like it's like what was it in most
The
video
enemy is
games?
ontologically evil and disposable. Go for it.
It was what, yeah, it used to always be like, oh, I mean, it's just one of the funny bad guys, I think, because it's just like, yeah, the Nazis are back. How did they survive? Oh, vampires. I just find it funny that they went through the effort to put swastikas on the chips they're inserting in people. That seems like
I
a
mean,
lot of
if you're gonna do something, do it right, eh?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine though? Like you've got the Nazi vampire who's like, "Hey, doctor, are you sure we should be putting the chips on them? Why? Well, what if the enemy gets them? Oh, they won't notice. What do you mean?"
It's the 90s. No one's thinking about it. What a funny little symbol. I wonder what it means. But why are Hindus making vampires? I don't understand.
Why are Indians making? It's also a symbol in Buddhism.
Or Buddhists. Fuck, whatever.
I don't know if it's a Hindu symbol, but it is a Buddhist symbol. It's funny. I remember there was an anime where the actual like manji is used on a lot of the symbolism and the dark and the merch. And I remember seeing a post at one point that was like, "Tokyo Revengers, I am not buying this," and it was like shoes with like the golden manji on
Well, it didn't stop Hassan
it.
with the fucking bleach sword. Uh,
It's just really fun. It's just really funny when you see stuff like that, though. Uh, Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a character in one of the arcs with a manji on his forehead because he's like a Buddhist monk. I used to always just
there's a lot of funny comparisons people have made of like when it gets localized,
yeah
and that is not allowed at all, which
yeah
is
yeah
unfortunate.
the Yu Yu Hakusho, the original version I saw, they did like they just airbrushed the manji off of the guy's forehead.
Sometimes they'll replace it with other shit too.
They do. No. Like if you look at some of the 4Kids subs from back in the day, it'll be it'll be like they'll airbrush that. They'll like one of the ones I always remember. It's one of the Yu-Gi-Oh episodes. They airbrush guns out of the bad guy's hands, so they're just pointing at Kaiba as he's like running away. So it looks like he's just like not actually in danger, but he's taking these extreme measures anyway. Well, because these guys are pointing at him, like he jumps out of a window off a cliff, basically. It's just really funny. But they'd localized shit that didn't matter too, like the famous jelly donuts thing. But yeah, anyway, back going into Hellsing. Yeah, basically Valentine just gets the Valentine brothers just both get completely screwed over. And it's funny too, right? When they first the guy first makes it uh to Alucard. Alucard, he's like, "Oh, I'm surprised you're still here." And Alucard's like, "Nah, I don't run or hide." That kind of leans into it too. He very much. It's very clear he respects people who are going to like, who have like resolve. But yeah, this is like this episode is particularly interesting because this is the first time you get to see Walter in action. This is kind of the most serious at this point that you see Alucard. This is when you see like the anti-tank rifle used.
Right.
And the Hellsing organization is still caught on the back foot. They like lose this battle essentially. They lose essentially
It's like
everybody except these three.
it's kind of establishing like the power gap, right, between like rank and file and everyone else.
Yeah, yeah. Essentially, because yeah, the normal soldiers are kind of just fodder.
It also establishes even a ghoul is like significantly stronger than a person.
Yeah. Well, they can you have that classic it's that classic trope when it comes to like monsters or stuff, like the idea of them not being able to feel pain, right? In that how that's an advantage because they can just keep going and they aren't really going to stop just cuz like they get shot. And it's also like the idea of you probably need like consecrated weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, this is also where you do get some idea of Alucard's reputation here as well with the other Valentine brother. Uh, where he lays out like all the things that Alucard is known for and all the things about him. Uh, that people will generally know if they are vaguely aware. He's described as the trailblazer of immortality by the pretty boy Valentine.
Hmm.
Like that's how far his reputation goes. And the another interesting thing is Alucard says there aren't any immortals in this world. Which kind of confirms like he isn't immortal. I mean, it's true, he isn't immortal. He essentially just respawns a lot. He's a
Well, and that also kind of sometimes things that make me wonder. It's like, is this the thing people will do where like they conflate immortal and invincible and kind of
yeah.
mix the two? And I don't know if that's a translation thing or if it's meant to be that.
I think it's clearly meant to be that because
Like you can be immortal without being invincible.
yeah, like what we learn way later on, right? That all of the bad guys' plan is just to kill Alucard, and it technically works. But the he isn't immortal. It's just that he has so many like essentially ways out of death. He might as well be, but
Right.
he's not like mechanically immortal. He could die. Like there's potential for him to die. It's just actually getting from point A to point B. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, and like I said, I just love how it's funny, right? Because with the Valentine guy, he is so confident, he's so happy for the fight up until the moment he actually faces Alucard's power, and then that's the moment. it almost seems like Alucard is like leaning into it. He's like, oh, you're actually gonna man up and fight me. Okay, shit. And then the guy starts running away and it's like, oh, I got myself all pumped up for no reason. You couldn't even like you couldn't even like handle this. The other
Hmm.
brother, meanwhile, just gets shot up by all the people in the meeting.
Hmm.
So it's kind of equally funny there. But yeah, we kind of also get the vague idea that there's some kind of weird restriction on Alucard's power that seems he can unlock levels of it depending on what he's facing or what orders he has.
Hmm.
That's another major thing I think, but I think the hound he has is even called the Hound of the Baskervilles. That's another thing. They like to just use kind of like vaguely supernatural things as a thing or like concepts as a thing. Like the Hound of the Baskerville is obviously a reference to Sherlock Holmes.
Right. It's fun to do that. Adds a little character.
It does. Well, especially because Alucard is obviously like Dracula, right?
Hmm.
So it is just fun to kind of reference another sort of like it's not actually supernatural, but as it's about as close as Sherlock Holmes gets to the supernatural. At least canon Sherlock Holmes.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure they've done all kinds of crazy shit with non-canon stuff.
Oh, definitely. It's an interesting. That's a whole interesting thing. But another part of this, I believe, is that you still see that, like, for example, Seras does still get cornered by the ghouls, and I believe this is another one of those moments where she goes into like the bloodlust state where she just starts murking them. But it's another one of those things where up until that point she was fighting like a human, and then you could tell because her eyes changed from blue to green or blue to red, right? And when they're red,
Yeah.
that's kind of when she's more like embracing her vampire nature. Like they do that clearly on purpose. Cause and like I said, it's interesting because it feels like she's kind of almost getting pushed more into the monstrous side of vampirism because she's fighting against it.
Yeah.
Because when she's
This would be easier if you just lent into it.
yeah, yeah, basically it's kind of like the meme of like trying to just the meme stoicism versus the regular stoicism. Because the meme of stoicism is never feel anything ever, where the actual reality of stoicism is like no, 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 take care of your shit and then go and feel things in private, basically, or go feel things when it's appropriate to do so. Rather, go and deal with the emotions when it's appropriate to deal with it, but you've got shit to do right now. Like it is very much like that. It's you don't want to actually hold in like when you're holding back against these instincts and emotions versus when you're kind of leaning into it somewhat, the implication is that it'll just burst out in moments like this where it's a dire moment, but she'll get carried away. And another interesting thing is Integra seems to step in and try to make her stop. And I'm wondering if Integra's not doing that because she actually cares about these men. A lot of these ghouls were her men, right?
Right.
And she probably doesn't want their bodies like defiled as much as they were ghouls and probably ripped apart already.
Yeah. There's a point where it's like, all right, you're yeah. I think you're done.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I believe Integra is the one who finally kills the Chav, though.
I'm
As is
pretty sure.
proper. Yeah, and they I believe they do get just. Do they get? Is this where they learn about Millennium, or do they learn about it later? I'm trying to remember.
I'm, oh, I'd have to go back and check. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know they find out about the chips before they find out about, you know. I don't think they learn about Millennium till a little bit later, right?
Oh wow! Wait. So I was just scrolling through to see if they give us numbers. So apparently, the Helsing organization had 96 members before. Only 10 survived the
Oh
attack.
yeah, okay.
Eight of those were because they were outside of the actual building.
Right.
And obviously, that's talking about humans, not the actual vampires. I I feel like they don't count those as people.
Pretty sure those are more like assets.
Yeah. Oh, Walter even does clarify in this line actually that they're already dead. And yeah, we do at this point know it's Millennium. Okay, that's I did find it. All right. Yeah. So Millennium is like introduced and a Star Wars. Wait, I forgot about this Star Wars mention.
Whether the satellite program or the movies.
I think it's the movie because it's talking about uh wait, I'm looking. I think it's talking about their recruitment. Or there were 7 occult and military enthusiast associations, as well as a Star Wars related club in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. Forgot about that line. That's
Oh,
funny.
it even says it Millennium Falcon, the name of Han Solo's ship.
Hmm.
Well, the funny thing too is Integra asks like Star Wars, like she has no idea what that is. But to be fair, she does seem like the type that doesn't get out much.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah. She's not going to the fucking movies.
No, they don't let you smoke in the movie theater.
Ugh, gay. That's when society fell apart. You're not allowed to smoke in public anymore.
Oh yeah, she even does it. They do even explain too, though the 1,000 year kingdom thing. A group that half a century ago sought the glory of a 1,000-year-old kingdom. That's the exact.
The
That,
1,000-year Reich.
yeah, that's the specific language they use, and the end of this is when they reveal that it's the Nazis. Which
In Argentina.
I kind of like how much they draw it out though, because it's like it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, you know what? It's the Nazis, guys. Like they're
Hey,
having
guess
fun
what?
with it. They're they're having fun with these being the bad guys. They're hamming it up, and
They
they
should be. That's
definitely
how
do
you're
ham it
supposed to
up.
do it.
They definitely do ham it up. It's really funny. Cause yeah, it's the Nazis in Argentina, and our boy gets sent there, but not before they do have to recruit new help. Yeah, they recruit the mercenary company. What are they called? I know they have a name.
Isn't it like the mongooses or some shit?
It, I think I think it had something to do with a bird. Let me three. I'm like looking it up right now because I don't remember what. Oh, the wild geese. That's what they're called.
That's what it is. Made me think of mongooses because geese. Yeah.
Yeah, and uh, that's where you meet Pip Bernadotte, who is the best character. He probably actually is one of the best characters in the show.
I mean, he's up there.
I mean, he just as far as style, like, doesn't he have an eye patch and everything? He's like, that's the thing about the show. The style of it is just very like everything that for a franchise people would have found cool in like the 90s and early 2000s.
That's why it's God's gift to the world.
Oh, that it doesn't even have a plot synopsis. That's lame. They just have major events. I'll have to play this one by ear in memory. Because I believe this is the one where they go to Argentina.
Or, well, somewhere in South America, yeah.
Yeah, vague South America and country. And th- the interesting thing is the whole thing is clearly a trap. But you also get the wild geese responding to getting getting called in by the Hellsing organization, where they have to be introduced to vampires, and they completely underestimate Seras when she's pointed out as a vampire, and then like Alucard. This is why I think Alucard did just at some point freak out all the old stiffs when he walks through walls at some point.
Oh, totally.
Because he just like walks through the wall. No, the funny thing is he walks through the wall and is shit talking Saris, but also building her up. He's like, Saris might be the lowest of the low, but even she is a proper vampire. it, it's funny, right? Because he has like some kind of sense of pride in that. He's just like a dad, you know. One of that overly critical dad, where it's like, my son is good for nothing, but you know what? At least I raised him good. That kind of parent.
At least you're on the team.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, the wild geese themselves, uh, they come across as like it's interesting, right? Because they are portrayed as your kind of typical mercenary group, but we do get that like they are particularly like they are not the type of mercenary group that's gonna like trade sides. Like, well, otherwise the Nazis would have used some stolen Nazi gold to buy them out, right? That's the meme with a lot of like, oh, the Nazis had a surviving force. They always have like absurd riches. Isn't that it? Like the idea they smuggled stuff out.
Um, I mean, it's more that Switzerland has the gold.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's the that part. It's like, yeah, they got assets out, and then they like got Swiss bank accounts and stuff like that, and then they went to Argentina.
In my experience, the meme is just that Switzerland has it all, and then everyone else left it behind to escape. And oh,
Uh,
sorry. And now it's just like, well, they got away, and then Switzerland got to keep everything. So
I know Black Lagoon, the way Black Lagoon does it with you remember the Nazis in that show. That's another show we have to review at some point. But with Black Lagoon, the idea is like the guy who hires both the neo Nazis is funding the neo Nazis and hires a Lagoon company. He got out of Germany, but he got out with like substantial like financial assets.
yeah, he didn't give it to the Swiss.
Or maybe he became the Swiss.
It was the Swiss all along.
It was the Swiss alpha. Never trust cheese. That's what
They're disgustingly neutral.
they are, disgustingly neutral. But yeah, no. It is really funny to me. Always is like a lot of a lot of the memes and conspiracy theories that get worked into into just so we can have the Nazis as the bad guys.
In the 90s.
Yeah, well, because you have to explain, like, well, where have they been? What happened?
Exactly where you thought they were. Agartha.
did
They're on
you
the moon.
did you ever watch that? There was like an old B movie where it's like
I've
Nazis
heard
and
of it. I
yeah,
haven't watched it myself, but it sounds funny.
it's like it's Nazis in Antarctica. They have a Robo Hitler. Who is the actual Hitler?
Actually, hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Well, while you're finding that, I'm gonna step away for just a minute, and then
Well, here, I'll narrate my search.
yeah,
Let's see.
I'm just
Nazis
gonna
at the
use the
center of the
bathroom.
earth.
Yes, I think that's
The
it.
Asylum. No way.
Of course, it's the
Is it really
asylum.
on YouTube? It's on YouTube in full. Oh my God. Yeah, someone uploaded to YouTube on Movie Central 4 years ago. It only has 389,000 views. Okay, that's going in watch later. Incredible. If I'd known it was this easy to watch, shit. Oh my God, that's the shortest search. Yeah, it just is on YouTube straight up. I guess no one cares to like copyright claim it. I guess the asylum doesn't care. Dr. Mengele? Oh my goodness. What is that? What is that mysterious canister? Could it be? Is it the plot device? Load the machine on the plane. Oh my, is that how they get to the center of the earth? Oh my goodness. I wonder what movie they got these outfits from. Oh, those are some rough special effects. Dr. Mengele is using a Panzer Faust against a fucking tank. Are you kidding? What? Oh my God. Oh, this is rough. You must go now, Dr. Mengele. Don't worry, I'll save you. Do those MP40s have fucking like what are those? They have like fucking sight rails on the top to like put a fucking scope on. Yeah, shooting your sidearm fucking 100 yards away, that'll stop him. What? Why is he walking? Come on. This is funny. Bro, Dr. Mengele is like fucking John Marston here pulling headshots with his fucking sidearm from like a mile away.
I'm back.
What? So the movie's just on YouTube? I don't know if you were listening.
Of course it is.
No way.
And of
Oh
course
my
it's the
goodness.
asylum, naturally. What
Thank
who else
God.
could it be?
That opening scene is hilarious.
But yeah, anyway,
Dr. Mengele is pulling headshots from like 100 yards with a sidearm. I'm watching this later.
Of
Wait, was
course.
that Jake Busey? Jake Busey is in this movie.
I remember
Oh,
why
that's tough.
I've watched it before. I remember thinking it was kind of it's funny, but it's
Yeah,
funny, but I think the joke kind of runs a little dry eventually.
I'm sure it does. This doesn't look like a very good movie. Like the effects are tough,
What do you mean?
but like
It's the normal asylum quality.
true. I'm very excited to watch that later now. Oh God, the clips. There he is. There's Cyborg Hitler. What the fuck? Oh my God. All right. Well, back to the peak. All right. Goodness.
But yeah, yeah, though no, I do like that. It's just like yes, it is the Nazis. Also, yeah, we're going to Argentina. Uh, we're going, and also the outfit that Alucard wears, and they actually have him fly in and like check into a hotel like overtly.
Yeah, it's on the record.
Well, it's because they're specifically like baiting a fight. But you get a lot of good dialogue between Pip between Captain Bernadotte and Alucard too during this. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Benzo just leaked inked some more peak in our Discord.
Oh. Oh boy.
Oh no, and Iron is trying to get you killed into
Is
a
he?
chat. Yeah, he says you have incriminating evidence on the Clintons. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, is he in chat?
Yeah.
I don't have chat pulled up. I'll have to answer these accusations. What's going on? Oh, I wish I did.
what? Wait, are you feeling suicidal?
Well, I haven't told anyone. And that's where everyone gets into trouble. They start running their fucking mouth, going, guys, everyone, the whole world. Because they think that's going to save them. Instead of just dropping it and then saying something, or doing it at the same time. No, they fucking go, guys, look at me. Look at me. Look over here. I have something you don't want me to say. Ooh, I'm gonna say it tomorrow. Better stop me.
Let me paint this bullseye right on my forehead to make it easy for you.
Yeah, fucking A.
I'm also gonna go cut my own car's brakes just to make it easier
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
you.
say, I'm gonna return to my poorly secured house by myself and walk out on the street the next day. You know, like
But
good. You're not paranoid enough. All right.
but not before giving my security guards the night off.
Yeah.
And oh, what do you know? My security system just so happens to have needed a software update.
Oh.
You know what's really funny though with Integra recruiting these mercenaries is her she specifically references Bram Stoker. Yeah, she says for more information on what you're hunting, reference Bram Stoker. Uh, also, I just remembered that Alucard also calls the mercenaries of being a bunch of lily-livered cowards for getting freaked out at him walking through the wall.
Hmm.
Look, the man just wants you to square up, even if your chances of beating him are 1 in 1,000,000. I'm just scrolling through the episode to see if I'm forgetting anything. Oh wait, we have the meeting between the Catholic Church and uh
The museum,
and
yeah.
yeah the museum standoff. I love that. I love that sequence too, because it's like them at this museum. It's funny because you even get like dialogue with Anderson, like, "Oh, I should bring the orphans here sometime."
Mm.
Because Anderson, and when he's not being a psychotic crusader, he is actually just taking care of orphans.
Well, he's got to balance the scales somehow, eh?
Yeah.
Everyone needs a hobby, but which one's the hobby? You know?
I think taking care of the orphans is awesome. Uh, but yeah. You've got like the two church officials coming in, and then you've got like Walter and Integra, and it's just like this. It is just this like standoff, and then one of them insults uh Integra, and Alucard just kind of shows up to threaten the Catholic Church, and he also like mocks them just directly to their face. He's just like, "Oh hey, it's the same type of Prado. So no matter how many centuries passes, you guys just
Fucking
don't fucking
Romans.
change." Yeah, yeah. I believe this is also like one of our early scenes with Maxwell, because he's kind of an important character. I mean, he calls a crusade.
Yes.
He's su- he I love him as a bad guy. He's such he just comes across as like this arrogant, egotistical shit. I
Italians, am I right?
I know, right? But yeah, outside of that, yeah, the we do learn that the church and the Helsing organization did have like some kind of agreement, and the church's big issue is that the I believe it's uh was it the it was one of the early cases. I think it was the couple, but that happened in Northern Ireland. So they see that as their jurisdiction, which I'm kind of wondering if that's not supposed to be a commentary about certain events happening in the 90s with
Oh, I'm
Ireland.
sure. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I feel like they're kind of sneaking it in there, but they're not like going into detail because they probably don't want to.
We don't really even have to with this. It's like, well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's like the cat.
it is still our It's English. England owns it. Sorry.
Yeah, the Catholics are probably going to disagree with that at the same time. Like it kind of just makes sense as a conflict that would come up. But yeah, you know, it it's funny, right? Because the interactions with the Catholics is just, oh no, the Protestants and the Catholics are fighting again. Anyway, but it is also funny because Maxwell is also very much into the idea of crusade. Actually, th- that's right. What triggers Alucard to show up is he calls her a Protestant sow, and that's when Alucard just shows up to threaten his life. But let's be honest, Alucard just wants to fuck with people.
Oh, of course. Especially Catholics, which is base.
Yeah, and it appear this is the other interesting thing too, because this is like broad daylight. This is I think this is the first like confirmation we get. He's not the type of vampire that dies in sunlight, and neither is
No.
Seras. Like, uh, I think it's implied those types of vampires exist in this universe, but it's not any of the main ones. But yeah,
I like
uh,
the Japanese tourists.
I forgot they were Japanese tourists. But it's funny because you almost get the impression that Sarah specifically went out of her way to go like retrieve
Oh,
a random
totally.
tour group in order to like bring them over here in
Oh,
order to just
absolutely.
break it up because it's something she would do.
Yeah, surely the Catholic Church isn't gonna just kill a bunch of people. They would never.
They would never, especially non-believers. They've never done that before.
No, untreaded ground, surely.
But I think the implication is everything about the whole like supernatural stuff is still kind of underground, and that's kind of the implication here because this is where another point where we do have learned about this as the Iscariot organization under the church, which the idea is it's kind of the church's own like vampire hunters or kind of supernatural arm rather. But Anderson does show up and do the stare down, and that's when we get the tour group. And after that, that's when we learn. That's when we get the more calm meeting with Integra and the church official, where we learn. Yeah, apparently the Catholics were funding the Nazis in Argentina, and the Catholics are just like, yeah, we funded them. Why? We thought it was funny.
Look, all right, it was yeah. Look, it was a previous pope, all right. We got we didn't yeah, disavowed.
True. He has been thoroughly disavowed. Well, it seems more, and that's the interesting thing, though. The church revealing this information is because it's kind of like, this is like kind of inconvenient for us. So we'd rather you guys just deal with this.
Okay, you want to clean this up? Go for it.
Yeah, basically. It's like what Helsing wants to clean up our mess. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah, Maxwell is just like, yeah, we did fund those guys. I'm trying to see if he gives a specific reason. Well, oh, he does also give the information that they did flee to South America, where there was plenty of a number of pro-German states.
That's one way to put it.
Oh, yeah, So they literally say, yeah, the Vatican provided their full support in moving the Nazis over there.
I mean, name the lie.
I can't.
It's incredible.
Oh, we also kind of learn, yeah, the Germans are just right here at the same restaurant or patio area. They're just kind of sitting here, like, watching the meeting, like, yeah, oh, the Helping Organization is figuring out about our base over there in, Argentina. Okay, perfect. We can ambush them when they
Finally,
go there. Yeah, we've been
it took
waiting.
them long enough.
Yeah, we've been waiting like 50 years. Come on, you guys are a bit slow. And we meet the I I'd argue just kind of he is like he's the funniest and one of my favorite antagonists in anime. Not because he's just so over the top. You have to love him, the Colonel.
Oh, totally.
Or he's just like, what do I want? He doesn't even come across as like uh a Nazi in the sense of like, oh, he wants to kill this group or that group. He just kind of wants war. He just wants to have
I just love give war a chance.
Give war a chance. Yes, that is his entire character. He's just
Fucking
so
Sundowner from fucking Metal Gear Rising.
he's just so over the top. It's great. I I mean I think that's the thing. They know that the premise of the whole thing is like silly, but they're like, no, we're just gonna lean into it. Yeah, he is Snidely Whiplash. He is just that cartoonishly evil. He's just like, ah, yes, I want war. I miss the good days where we could just kill people indiscriminately. You know, it's been so long since I've had a proper war. He's so over the top that it's like it goes from like because there are over the top villains that are like this way that are cringe. I feel like it's one of those like things where there's a valley and then it goes back up to being funny. As far as like how that works, as far as over the top villains, you know what I mean? No.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, you there's kind of an uncanny valley space and then there's right past it where this guy is, where it's like it's back to being entertaining. I mean, if you're going to do like oh, World War II Nazi or World War II survivor of the Third Reich colonel who's just obsessed with war, or who wants to bring back the war. You either do it hyper seriously or you do it like this guy, where it's just so over the top that it's just funny. As a villain, and uh, I guess you also learn later on what his actual goal is, which is just like actually even more simple than that. He just wants revenge against Alucard. I don't even know if it's revenge. I think he just wants the glory of killing Alucard. Like that's his
It's
entire
not just the
goal.
personal satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I guess it is like the idea. This guy obsessed with war and murder and killing people, and then he like faces what is essentially an unkillable being, and he's like, no, no, I'm gonna kill that. The man is just very passionate about what he does. Oh, that's the other thing. Another tidbit you get with Alucard when you get Alucard and Walter discussing the Nazis thing. He actually says the only group other than us who willing to use the undead for their own purposes. That's another interesting thing. And you get a lot of the lore, like, yeah, Alucard was there in the 1950s during World War II, or the 1940s during World War
I was
II.
gonna say the 50s,
Well, yeah, back 50.
Korea.
I mean,
General MacArthur. Alucard gave him the idea for the fucking sea of cobalt and glass.
I mean, no, it's funny because I was just staring at that part in the thing because like obviously I'm skipping through it to get my plot points in order because I didn't take any direct notes in the because I just assumed it would be filled out on the wiki, right? And I obviously I watched it, so I remember the events. I just don't remember the order. I'm always bad with that. But I was looking at 50 years ago because that's what they say in the line, and my brain mixed that with the actual year. That's why.
Right.
But yeah, yeah. So Walter was involved in I actually wait. This is another one of those tropes with the Nazis. The idea that they were like super obsessed with the supernatural and like tapped into actual supernatural forces.
They hired the vampire, but they got the one that didn't like, you know, they got an interesting choice.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is I've always liked that sort of like alternative World War II story where it is like the idea of a supernatural battle on top of the actual war. I don't know, it's just a cool like aesthetic thing, you know?
A fun little alternate history thing, yeah.
Yeah, I love historical fiction like that. And especially works with something once again like VTM or like just World of Darkness in general, because the idea, a lot of what World of Darkness does with its timeline is it kind of recontextualizes like historical events with the idea of the World of Darkness and the different like magical beings that exist and the different like entities that exist in the world. World of Darkness, like Vlad Tempe S was a vampire, for example, you know,
Hmm.
which this also kind of does, and there's just something really cool about the idea of a supernatural side to history. I think I don't know. I've heard other people kind of moralize about it, but I don't care because nobody moralizes about Camelot or like Greek mythology. This is just applying supernatural elements to more recent stuff. But yeah, it's interesting too the dialogue between Walter and Alucard, given stuff we learn later. Particularly that Walter kind of fucking hates Alucard, uh, and he kind of has for decades and decades. He's basically been like the sleeper agent
Yeah.
because there is an extent you can get that. There's this sort of stiltedness to how he interacts with Alucard, but there's also like still a level of banter because they have worked together for a long time. And it's interesting because you can just assume the stiltedness is just weirdness on the writing, but then once you have the context, it is interesting to think about, right? You know, because yeah, you just look at how young Walter or how old Walter is, but then you have to remember they're talking about 50 years ago. How old is Walter? He's probably going to be in like what his 60s. So
Yeah.
50 years
Mid
ago,
late 60s.
yeah, yeah. So 50 years ago, he would have been what, 18?
Something like that.
But yeah, yeah. We this is where we get the yeah. Alucard is getting shipped off to go look into Millenium over in Argentina, and I love that they just full on put him on a plane. Uh, and you also get Integra giving him that order, search and destroy.
Hmm.
Like he is, there is an element of his powers that is tied to her orders, like or restricted by her orders, which makes sense because like otherwise, Alucard is the type who does respect power and respect kind of. I would say if there's anything he respects more than power, it is conviction. That's what he respects. I'm sorry. Wait, I'm trying to get this look on screen because it's the look he has when he's on the plane. Because it's such a shit-eating grin. I have to get that on screen. I'll send it to you separately, but I'm sorry. Let me just drop this into the Discord first. That fucking expression.
Oh, totally.
He's so smug. I love it. Let me just save as. Alright, replace this with that. Oh, is it not letting me? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I hate it when it does this. Ah, that's why. Okay, why is it not letting me do this? There it is. Okay. There we go. That's the expression. I'm sorry. It's like inherently no. What's extra smug about it too is that he's with the new mercenaries, right? And they're flying on this like private fancy plane. He's got like the dark red wine. He's got the dark suit. He just looks like he has this like air of uh kind of skeeziness, in the look.
Hmm.
Like I'm sorry, okay, if you saw this guy, you would assume he is involved in some kind of like drug trade or like
Oh, totally.
trafficking ring or something like that.
He's on the flight logs.
Oh no! Oh no! I didn't want to think about that. No, I actually feel like Alucard would not be on the flight
Oh
log.
no, not really, but that's what you'd see the suit and the.
No, no, no. But he's not a partaker. He's a supplier. Like he looks like the type of guy that's like, yeah, I make my money illegitimately, and I don't really give a fuck about it. He's got that type of aura to him. Like, wow, yeah, I do break the law. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, come get me.
But yeah, the other than that, Seras has to fly as cargo. It's tough out there, and yeah, we get Alucard checking into the hotel. Uh, it's kind of unclear if he's just intimidating this hotel worker or if he is actually mind control. I think he is actually mind controlling him. Is the idea?
Yeah.
But it's so over the top. uh, in general. But yeah, he mind controls the hotel worker to like just let him go up with the baggage, which in this case is Theris.
Hmm.
And then after that, just like, well, it's funny. We get the dialogue of the mercenary, like, oh, you got they put you up in the fancy hotel. Shit, I get put in a shithole across town. And Alucard is like, shithole. It's so funny because what Alucard actually says is it's almost like hey, I like you. Don't come to school tomorrow. That's the kind of line he has. It's like, shitholes can be great places to stay. Or it's like there's advantages to being in a shithole. And we get like the cut to like the night where the SWAT team breaks in, and we learn like everyone in this hotel was killed, and Theris and Alucard are being blamed for it because obviously Millennium has promised the upstanding officials of the third world country immortality. So naturally, they're like, well,
Or just,
shit.
money.
No,
Either or.
no. It is specified that the officials were given were offered immortality.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Now, Millennium is
You didn't need
also
to offer them that.
Millennium is also going like, don't worry, gentlemen, you'll get everything that's coming to you. That's how they say it, word it in the dub. So it's very much they're wink wink nudging us to like, yeah, we're gonna kill these fools. Yeah, we don't feel bad about it either. But it leads into like this leads into one of probably the coolest Alucard, at least early on, one of the coolest Alucard fight scenes, probably. And just another case of like how much more dangerous a vampire is compared to like humans with the SWAT team. Oh, this is
Yeah,
something I can criticize about. I do just kind of dislike I do kind of dislike the goofy little scenes that are kind of done as comedy relief between they're clearly like, oh, we're just coming back from a commercial break. Here's a bit of levity before we, get
yeah.
into it. But yeah, you know the scenes I'm talking about, right?
I think
The
so.
yeah, they have like all the different like goofy kind of comedy scenes.
Oh yeah, that shit. Yeah, yeah,
I do actually kind of dislike those. That's probably like my one of my major criticisms of the show. It's like, uh, not only do I think these didn't need to be included, I think that it's worse off for including them.
yeah. I don't mind it too much.
I don't think I would mind it necessarily if it was like a special features thing or a bonus thing. I wouldn't mind it. But it being in the episode, at least the versions I saw, maybe they just included that as like maybe it just happens to be included in that version where they include those as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is also funny. But just before the fight, Seras wakes up and it's like Alucard's like, "Get up! There's something interesting going on." He's excited. It's just like, oh, are we gonna actually get to the point where I get to murder people? Yo, I feel like bored Alucard is the nothing ever happens meme, and entertained Alucard as, oh, something's happening, you know.
Totally.
But yeah, uh the fight scene between Alucard and the SWAT team is really entertaining, I think. Especially because it just portrays exactly how much of a monster Alucard actually is. It's another one of those scenes where it's like Alucard's
It's not
approach.
even close. Yeah.
Well, everybody Seras's approach and Alucard. Well, this is another thing I found interesting because Alucard is specifically asking Integra like, "Oh, so hey, what can I?" Basically, Alucard wants to put it specifically on Integra, the option of him killing these humans. And I don't think it's for Alucard's benefit. I think there's a part of him that likes the idea that like, no, 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 you want me to kill these humans, you have to like specifically order it. Not because I care about them, but because you care about them, and I want to test your resolve. I want to test how far you're willing to go. Because look, your orders mean I could kill these humans, and you could assume probably maybe he actually has a restriction where he needs specific permission to kill humans. I think that's very likely.
Maybe.
Well, because with the SWAT
Usually they
team,
need like an incantation for that. It seems like.
kind of. Well, it. That's why I'm wondering if part of me what I think it's probably both. I think that he could easily be creatively interpret her orders, uh, to search and destroy and wipe out the, basically like wipe out their influence or whatever. He could creatively interpret it as including killing these humans and do whatever. I think that he specifically wants to not reach for the loophole and instead make her order it. I think he's doing that purposefully. Kind of basically put his actions onto her, not because he cares for any moral reason on his part, but because he wants to make it clear like, no, 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 this is your fault. Whatever I do is your fault. He's testing her resolve. You know? Because
Oh yeah.
yeah, well, it's such a clear conviction of his or value of his to care about people's conviction. And this is the scene where you get the guy who like is left alone facing Alucard and killed himself, and Alucard just gets fucking pissed at that. At the guy like committing suicide. He's just like, no, 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 you fucking loser. Don't do that. Like he is clearly pissed, and I remember on my rewatch noticing that. Yeah, I noticed that on my
Firm
rewatch.
establishment of character.
Yes, it is definitely an establishment of his character. We also have we also have the Dandy Man here, who is clearly a he is clearly I think it's very much implied him to be like an Argentinian. He is definitely not a born Nazi. Or rather a born German. He probably is actually a born Nazi. He's an Argentinian. I think it's obvious. It's very much
Oh,
implied
of
him to
course.
be like the way they like portray him and designed him. He's very clearly meant to be more of a local. But he has like the guy with the magic playing cards and everything.
Yeah.
It, it's very he is very much designed to be like a pawn for them to throw out, and he is kind of threatening. I think I've always thought the playing card like aesthetic for like a bad a character for that fights is cool. You know, it's just a really cool aesthetic. But yeah, the SWAT team just gets completely murdered. And it's kind of funny because this I think is the point where you get the show kind of playing with the idea of like, oh no, what is Alucard going to do? But then you have Integra and Walter being completely calm and like, you know, we're letting him off the leash and he is a complete monster. Like these people have no chance.
This is payback for the Falkland Islands.
True. Well, it's another interesting thing is Alucard clearly doesn't care for the idea of these people who are only following orders TM. Actually, I think he
Right.
refers to them as dogs, and he actually says only humans can kill monsters.
Hmm.
So, like, that's another one of those things where I think independence, conviction, individual merit, these all seem to, like, be, like, things that Alucard values, and I find it very, very interesting how much they highlight that with his character. Because the guy who killed himself, right? Alucard is actually just asking him, like, so, before he kills himself, it's like, what stands before me? A dog? A human? Uh, yeah, like, what am I facing? A dog? A human? He's, like, clearly hyping himself up. He's clearly trying to pour on the terror. And I feel like Alucard's enjoying it, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, shoot me. I'll let you shoot me. Die fighting. Die like a man. Like that's kind of the implication. And when the guy kills himself, it all of the like hype like his expression immediate actually I just got a good pause screen of it. So
I was gonna say.
yeah, this is his expression once you get the shot going off. This is the immediate expression. It's just like all of the it goes to that from like the really cocky like yeah what are you gonna do like
Turns out
let
nothing. Not even gonna play along.
yeah yeah he just gets fucking pissed after this. Let me go ahead and put it on screen. All right, let me. I have to remember that I have to like save it and share it, or rather save it and then like slot the thing in. But yeah, there we go. That's the expression he gives. It's like very noticeably like, and then after that it becomes like a scowl of anger. And it looks like he just full on like is back down to business after this. Like he was having fun, and this guy shot himself, and now
What a party pooper. Fucking piece of shit.
yeah, exactly. It's that vibe. It's just like, uh, you fucking dare, and
What
uh,
an insult.
you could also go with the angle of him being like not understanding it necessarily.
I don't know about that.
I
I think
think
I think it was more just it's
no. I
just
think but I'm thinking back to the fight, the final fight with him and Anderson, and I think it is more he's just angry because this is the exact opposite of his ideal version of humanity.
right.
But yeah, you get another conversation with him and Sarah, where basically he's laying it out once again, like, no, it doesn't matter if we're killing humans. If they're firing at you, they're trying to kill you. How, like, there's no reason for us to hold back. Why would we hold back? Doesn't matter if they're human. They came here to kill us. Like, that's kind of the interesting thing too. It really does feel like Alucard is trying to hammer home the point that, like, no, like, and part of me actually feels like he's more heated about killing these people than he's ever been about, like, vampires or stuff. So part of me wonders if
Hmm.
there is a degree where I don't think he dislikes killing humans, but I do think that there's a I think this is him laying out his frustration because of the guy who killed himself.
Well, it might have to because there's no sport in it either. There's no challenge. It's just kind of like, well, yeah, any asshole can just kill a person. Like, ooh, look at
Yeah,
you.
like
Like, come on.
it's like any like sub tier one of these like sub tier chip vampires could do this. Could deal with
Yeah,
this.
like what are we doing here? I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit to this, but
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
they're
Well,
not sending their best.
and then when he's like still gets into it, the moment he's like once he's like getting into it and like getting into the vibe, then somebody just killed it by giving up. It's like this isn't worth it. But also the movie that Benzo linked full on has Nazis riding dinosaurs. What the fuck is this?
Fuck yeah. That's the sequel to Iron Sky, apparently.
I love Nazi exploit. I love stuff that's just like, yeah, the Nazis are the bad guys, and we're just gonna meme them to oblivion.
Yeah, they were on the moon, and in the sequel,
Yeah.
they have dinosaurs from
What
Agartha, you
what do you
know?
call that?
So
It's Nazi exploitation films. Is that what people call those?
that's certainly what you could call it.
Uh, I don't know what it's actually called, but like, I don't know.
I
These
can
like
believe that that's a name for it.
I've heard the name before, but I don't know if that's what I'm talking about. Oh, hey, Tom Green was involved in it.
Good for him.
I feel like I should know that name. I don't. That's the only name that seems vaguely familiar.
Oh, it's from the Eminem song. It's okay for Tom Green to hump a dead moose.
What the fuck?
That's
Yeah,
the
this is
line from
probably
fucking.
this is probably my edgiest like stream in a long time. And a lot of it is just because we're talking about Nazis and like, look, if I get a YouTube strike for this, I'm just like, yeah, we're clearly talking
Oh,
about it.
this is nothing. There's shit that's up that's way worse. It's
I mean,
fine.
there is.
Diorio says like fucking pedophile and rape like 20 times per stream, and he's green. I think we'll be all right.
I'm
He's
not
got way
even a
more attention.
monetized channel, so
Oh yeah, fuck it then. We're not out here doing a cat boy roundtable. Okay.
no, there are no cat boys involved in this stream.
Listen, all right. If you were to bake a certain amount of cookies a day for 6 years,
Hey,
okay?
okay, hold
I don't
on.
even remember the
Hold
numbers. Don't worry.
I know, but Look, I mean, we're calling him a cowboy, so it's very clear we don't endorse him. But I'd rather just
No,
not.
he's a degenerate. He sucked Destiny's dick, okay?
Yeah,
Or wait, no, the other way around. I don't remember. Whatever.
we don't know which way around, but either way, I'm trying not to bring in the YouTube drama stuff because that's not what my channel's
Oh,
about, right?
well, all right then.
I mean, look, I'm fine making fun of it on occasion, but let's go back to the Nazi vampires instead of the Nazi cat
Yeah,
boys.
that's much more sanitized content.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, compared to the Nazi cat boys, come on, none
He
of us.
probably gets introduced this episode.
I think he does. I can't remember. Actually, wait, yeah, the Nazi cat boy is in
Yeah,
this
he shows
show.
up.
But yeah, no, I think this episode is mostly the yeah, it's mostly the SWAT team and then the Dandy Man fight. And you get like some of the stuff happening around that. But I think this is really one of the episodes where so like I said, this is where they just hammer home just how monstrous Alucard actually is, because most of the people he's killing here, like, look, we've seen him killing like ghouls, we've seen him killing like actual opponents who showed up to kill him. This is where he's killing people who kind of just showed up because it's their job, and I don't really know anything that more than that. Like, most of these soldiers that he's killing are just, like, people who are just, like, SWAT team. Now, look, they are also police in, like, random South American countries that are probably somewhat corrupt. So, you could maybe argue that, but it, and he does also acknowledge them as soldiers. So, in that regard, maybe for Alucard it is different, but like for the most part, these people don't know what they're doing. You know, like
Oh no.
they don't know what who they're involved with necessarily. They were told like, now for all we know, they were told the media story, like this is a attack against like a pair of terrorists who like murdered a
Oh,
bunch
I'm
of
sure.
people in a hotel. I do like, however, that we get Pip during this episode and during this sequence blowing up the command tent and doing so just
Yeah.
casually. Like he just comes in with a gas mask, shoots everyone in the command tent and leaves some C4. I kind of like that. It's a very like understated his contributions at this point, because I think it's him doing stuff, but I think it's like it's just reminding us he's involved, because his real contributions come once the Nazis invade London. But you also have the Nazis are kind of just like enjoying watching the conflict on screen.
Oh, absolutely. It's their whole thing at this
Okay,
point.
we do actually get the dandy man's name, Tubal-Cain Alhambra. That does not sound like a proper German name to me.
Ah, not anymore. I'm sure he has a grandfather.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's the
Klaus
idea.
Schmidt.
Well, the funny thing, when he meets the dandy man, Alucard's response is, "Are you the one who sent in those poor souls?" And it's funny, the dandy man is just like, "Oh, those guys are impaled up there. Yeah, their superiors were idiots. That's why they ended up over there. So it's like very clear that like, yeah, the the Nazis are just promising immortality in order to like manipulate people and corrupt officials. Like obviously they know the Nazis know that this isn't gonna kill Alucard.
Oh no.
If anything, it's all of the humans are just kind of there to kind of like guide him to the Dandy Man. But this is one of those points once again where Alucard states there's no such thing as immortality, and given we know kind of how immortality works. Also, I don't know if we're gonna be able to wrap this up in one stream.
No, totally not.
We're
No.
yeah, we're on
Not at this
episode.
rate, sure.
I think we're gonna go to episode 5, and I'll call it there because we're already like 3 hours in.
You're
Seems to be
gonna have
like
to
we're yeah. Now the
gonna have to make dinner soon.
yeah, I was gonna say the rest of this episode is mostly, I believe, the fight between the Dandy Man and Alucard. Which, while the Dandy Man is particularly impressive and it's a good fight, I don't think we need to break this down
Oh
as
no.
much. I'm just like skipping through to see if there's any particularly. Alucard does. Oh, Alucard is amused. This seems to be like a fight he's like into, you know?
Yeah.
He's hyped again.
At least something interesting to do.
Yeah, well, he describes it as like amusing, and especially because the guy fights with like cards. Oh, this is the line he says, "I'm just so happy that that there are still people in this world as stupid as you."
Hmm.
And he's specifically talking about the last battalion as well, which is he is excited because it's like, oh, thank God, it's not something boring like just random fake vampires. Well,
It's not
even
just drug cartels.
I wasn't gonna say that, but it's almost like this is just like at least interesting. Like I don't have to be like bored just sitting around killing like the odd vampire. Because I do you do get the impression Alucard is almost bored with the whole like Hellsing thing. It's he's been just like clocking in and out for years, and now finally he has like something exciting to do. That's the easy way to put it. But yeah, outside of that, with the fight, I don't think there's too much interesting. It is a fight where Alucard seems to be pushed more than he's been before. Because every single fight Alucard seems to get into seems to be like ramping up, but he's still like impressively powerful every time.
Right.
Because obviously Alucard is just absurd.
Hmm. It's like a fucking Lovecraftian entity, so I mean
I mean, he basically is a Lovecraftian entity. Outside of that, I kind of find we get like another scene with the Major, and he's just like, "Oh, well, the Dandy Man is dead," but we learned a little bit about that things.
hmm.
Like it is very clear that at least for Alucard, for the Major, he's just he doesn't really care about these people, any of his men. He is just they are just pawns on a game board because he just wants to kill Alucard. But I think he also does state this as like something worth recognizing and like having given them access to something. I don't know what the goal here really was, outside of maybe you get Alucard out of the way. Oh, this is a line. We've kept the old folks at the opera house waiting long enough. So I think the idea is they are using some of the Nazis we are all thinking of with that escape to Argentina to fund the operation, probably. Also, of course, the Nazis are in like giant zeppelins. That's
Oh yeah,
another thing.
naturally.
But like they can't use like this is the 90s. They can't, for some reason they aren't using jets. They're not using planes. They're not using helicopters. No, the zeppelins. Alright, and then the fourth episode. So we are almost done. We'll probably be done in the next hour. It's mostly like I think it mostly opens with the actual Nazi side of things. By the way, the animation in this show is great, by the way.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, you get to see all the Nazis doing doing their salute to the colonel.
Get to see what they're up to, how they're
But
preparing, and
it's funny too, right? Because the colonel's reputation and like the way people react to the colonel at the time even was like that sadistic little evil fuck. Like even among the Nazis, he was like particularly worthwhile for being like a villain.
yeah. Look, man, I'm just here for Germany. I don't know what you're fucking for, all right?
Well, he's just here for war because he just fucking loves seeing people die in a gutter. Yeah, and then we get more information that the church is once again just kind of like, well, yeah, we did help them.
Hmm. In a manner of speaking.
Oh, that's another thing worthwhile. I believe Alucard gets his understanding of their plan and their goals through basically drinking the deity man's blood. So that's another ability he has.
Yeah.
And then we get Alucard meeting the queen.
Naturally.
But who, by the way, he clearly has met before, and who clearly he knew when she was way younger. And he even seems surprisingly deferential to her. But yeah, also we do get that basically all the Nazi vampires are loyal to the colonel and not actually the Ghoul. And we get like brief showings of the colonel's, essentially the colonel's lieutenants, I guess you could say. The mini bosses, essentially.
Right.
Including
The officers.
yeah, Rip Van Winkle, Schrodinger, the one with the crunch tattoos, the one with the high collar, the like professor guy.
Yeah.
I believe are them. And we also get the numbers because the Nazis have 1,000 Nazi vampires. The last battalion, that's what they call themselves. after
Right.
they've like give up on the Millennium label. I'm just like scrolling through. Because I believe we get another encounter with, another brief encounter with Anderson and Alucard. Because the two really want to fucking fight.
Oh, absolutely.
It is kind of funny. They really hype up those two fighting. Because yeah, we get our people just kind of staying in a house. I believe this is probably still within Argentina. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it's like Anderson and Alucard very briefly fight and have a stand down before once again the fight gets called off. And yeah, the church does actually fly them back to London. Which, once again, I do kind of love the fact that basically you have with the church you have this angle of the church is essentially reluctantly helping them because it's kind of like, oh shit. Well, I think it's mostly because Maxwell's plan is he wants to be able to launch that crusade. Like that's
Well,
what he
yeah.
wants.
His claim to fame.
I mean, who wouldn't, right? I mean, if you get the opportunity to launch a crusade, why not? But yeah, I'm just like glancing through again. Yeah, okay, yeah. Basically, that's when we get the meeting at the. I assume it's supposed to be Buckingham Palace with Alucard meeting the Queen and everything like that, as well as like all the knights and stuff, and Iscariot is also there. But it's essentially just them laying out everything that happened, as well as some of the background, including a few more details about them taking out the Nazis originally. And Walter is specifically cited as being involved. But yeah, it's essentially them laying out the thing, and this is where we get the Nazi Catboy. Schrodinger shows up
Finally.
to deliver a message. Uh, the modern Nazi spirit animal. That's what we should call him.
Hmm.
It is really weird. They just decided to make him like a catboy. Like, well, I mean, it's not weird in that he's a catboy, but what I want to know is where the fuck did he come from? Like, I think he is referred to as Private Schrodinger. So he's like the lowest level of the Nazis. Was he like alive during the first war? Or during the original war, I mean? Or did
They
he
found him out in the jungle.
I was gonna say. Or did they find him out in the jungle? Did they go to Nick Fuentes early? Well, no. This takes place in the 90s, so that can't be it. I don't think he was born yet. But yeah. Basically, he shows up in order to deliver a message from the Nazis with like basically a shitty like projector screen thing that barely works. He also goons over Seras
Hmm.
very briefly. But yeah, we get the message from the Nazi who's just like, yeah, I killed a lot of these people. I did all this like horrible shit. Oh hey Alucard, how you doing? I remember you from back in the day. Like this is just the Colonel finally making his presence like directly known. Like they've already figured out he's involved. But like this is him doing that and kind of just proclaiming the conflict outright. I'm just scanning through it real quick to make sure. Oh yeah, I think he also just lays out. Yeah, his purpose is that he just wants war. Oh, he says we have no purpose. You should no. You should know for a line that there are those in this world start an irredeemable out for whom the means needs no purpose. Yeah, he basically lays out like, no, I just want war. I am just an evil bastard. There is no higher goal or motive here. Which I do think is really funny. And yeah, I believe they do execute somebody. Just outright. Yeah, they do just execute somebody outright and have like a bunch of like I don't know if it's the vampires themselves or ghouls specifically, just murder them, but it's like it is just them kind of fucking trying to intimidate the Hellsing organization. Oh, and then he also has things to say about the Iscariot organization. Someone from the Vatican's Iscariot organization speaks of insanity. That's what he says.
Hmm.
It's your God who guarantees my insanity. So who is it who guarantees your God's sanity? It's that edgy kind of like part of me finds it really cringe nowadays, now that I'm older. But at the same time,
Well, it was novel then.
yeah, I kinda I appreciate the villain is a fedora tipper. It's really funny to me. I appreciate it in like an ironic way where I just find it really funny. So it's like, you're calling me evil, but God lets me be evil. Have you considered that? It's it's like the basic bitch thing, but it's also just really funny to me. Especially because this guy's already so over the top evil. Yeah, basically I kind of like this whole scene because it is a shot up across the bow, and Alucard's and the way they acknowledge Alucard after that is just like, I'm mostly here for the asshole laughing in the corner, and Alucard is like, fine, I'll annihilate you guys as many times as I need to. This sounds fucking great. Sounds like a good time. I was fucking bored. And then yeah, he shoots the Kaplan, who we learn isn't very good at the whole dying thing.
Hmm.
Wait, actually, does he shoot the catboy or does Seras shoot the catboy? I think Seras does. No,
That's a
wait.
good question.
No, he definitely does shoot the catboy. Seras shot, but she missed. She hit the table. And I don't think she. I think she missed because she still got a problem with shooting at actual people. She is still thinking of the enemy as human. This is a mistake. Yeah, but you once again get the whole, like, destroy them thing. And I believe this is the Is this the episode with Rip Van Winkle? I believe it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, you get the Nazis scheming again, including the giant swastika with the eagle
Right.
holding it symbol in a chamber. Just, yeah, in case you forgot who we're fighting against. And we learned, yeah,
It's not every day.
we also learned, yeah, Schrodinger has just appeared back in the enemy base because he is Schrodinger. He can just be, he exists everywhere and nowhere at once. He can actually die and not be dead. That's his whole, like, power is just contradiction, which is actually, it's wild because Schrodinger is probably one of the most important, like, antagonists in the show. Thinking on it,
No, totally.
even though, like, he is kind of set up as, like, the almost the comedy character for the bad guys, where it's like, oh yeah, like, it's just this, like, weird catboy that's kind of like not really a serious character. But yeah, he is actually the most important character for the enemies, for the Germans' plan. That's the fun thing. I'd said that, yeah, we get the Germans launching their zeppelins, and I guess we can go over the Rip Van Winkle thing because I think that's, like, the next major part of the story. So yeah, basically some traders to in the British Navy arrange for her to get onto the ship because they once again they want to be immortal. And she uses that to kill everyone on the ship, have the ghouls take over, then kills them after having, like, converted them to vampires. But yeah, the whole thing with Rip Van Winkle is she's essentially a marksman character. Like, a marksman antagonist. Who's also clearly batshit insane. But yeah, they take over, like, it's an aircraft carrier, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so they take over an aircraft carrier, then she kills the people that were turned in order to get them on the ship because it doesn't matter if they live or die at this point. And it's funny,
No,
this is
it's
another point where Millennium uses the thing, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll make sure you get everything that's coming to you. Yeah, and you kind of get the layout of her powers because of this conflict, which she seems to just basically have magic bullets that can just hit anyone, no matter who.
right.
And even, like, hit multiple targets. Like, she has the trick shot power, essentially. And what's particularly interesting with her in this, because, like, obviously it's a big deal that they're, like, taking over a uh, a major nation's aircraft carrier, you know.
Right.
And it's
And that's
interesting.
that's a bit of a step up.
Yeah, Yes, this is where the escalation starts, and I kind of like that they're like very nonchalant about the how it escalates, and also I find the swastika painted in blood to be just a really funny like way for them to be like, hey, yeah, we took this over, by the way.
Yeah, look what I did. Ooh.
It's funny because like the bad guys are just so like it. They come across as like edgy 4chan kids, you know, from like 10 years ago.
I can't imagine why I enjoyed this so much. That's crazy.
I know, right? But like it's like them embracing all of the edginess and not like not being like, oh yeah, like, look, you don't have to tell us the Nazis are bad every 40 seconds. You just have to have them be evil, and we can kind of figure it out.
Nonsense. We need to stop. You know what? In fact, we've already failed. We need to stop the stream for an hour to talk about what's going on in the Middle East, actually.
Yeah, well, oh, yeah. Why we need to stop the stream for an hour to talk about how bad the Holocaust was, and all the atrocities the Nazis did. No, how about we just look at the things that the Nazi characters here are doing and be like, well, yeah, these are evil fucks, or the fact that yeah, they're Nazis. They are literal They're not even like neo-Naz. They are like actual Nazis
They're
from the
literally
Third Reich.
vampire Nazi fucking.
Yeah, they are the meme. They're the meme bad guys. They are the meme bad guys. We don't have to like have a spiel
You're
about
spoon
it.
feeding spoons.
Exactly. Like that's the thing I always hate about. So the one I always think about is the boys. That one
I was
character.
thought, you know what? A better example, World of Darkness. In the
Oh,
beginning of one of their editions, they had a little disclaimer added in. I don't know if you remember that.
oh no, I did forget about that, which is funny because it ties back into. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you don't need to lay out why the Nazis are bad. We all know the Nazis were bad.
No, it's tough.
But yeah. So I always think of Stormfront from the
Oh
boys.
God.
Yeah, where they have to be like, oh, well, wait, shit, we haven't portrayed her as bad enough yet. Okay, how about we just have her randomly kill a black family just out of the blue for
But
no
also
reason?
she won't say actual slurs because this is on Amazon.
Yeah, it's like, it's funny because it's like, you, you and
It's so performative.
well, that's the funny thing, because you as a viewer
You
are
didn't
gonna
even
be
do it
thinking
right.
like an actual like neo-Nazi is not gonna like hesitate to actually say the slurs. And you can bleep it out.
They're
You
either
can
not
cut
gonna do it
away.
because they're optics cucking, or they're gonna do it. But you
Well,
doing what you're doing is just cringe.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, you can do the thing where they cut away. You can do the thing where
Well, yeah,
there's
my
plenty of
brother in Christ, you're making the show.
yeah, like there's plenty of options you can say with you can do without even having her say it. You can imply that she says it because like this is like the evil Nazi character who is a racist and wouldn't think twice about saying it. But yeah, with this show, it's just like yeah, the 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 bad guys are just unapologetic Nazis that
They're
are
cartoonishly ontologically evil.
yes, exactly. And then from there, from there you can
Alucard gets a fucking SR-71 Blackbird fucking
yes, yes. Well, it's
and
funny because
kamikazes
you
into the fucking aircraft carrier.
yeah, you get the big conversation. The funny thing is too, you get the big conversation of them trying to figure out how to get Alucard there, because obviously like these vampires actually have that restriction about crossing oceans.
Nothing about crossing the air.
Yeah, yeah, but well, so the implication is they put the coffin in the jet. Actually, it's not just an implication. They cut to it, the coffin in the remains of the aircraft carrier afterward, later on. So yeah, they just put a coffin with uh dirt from his homeland in the jet and flew into the and had him fucking kamikaze into the fucking aircraft carrier. And it
And of course,
works
it makes a cross.
naturally.
Perfect. It's Kino.
Yeah. And on top of that, outside of that, you have like the conflict of Seras is still trying to like eat. I guess we can just highlight this real quick. Like Seras trying to eat normal human food, choking up because well she is not a human, and then you have Integra forcing her to well not forcing her but feeding her blood, and we get the we we do get the mention of pure virgin blood. That is what they specifically stated as. I'm
Hmm.
kind of wondering if maybe that ties into the bond as master, or maybe it's just that Integra is too serious to ever hooked up with anyone. But it is interesting because from what I understand, I think it's a this might be a manga thing, but there is the idea that Alucard is constantly trying to convince Integra to become a vampire because he kind of finds it as a fun game.
Oh, totally.
But we also do know the whole thing with vampires and being converted, so I think it's safe to say she is one. And it seems like a really awkward and weird scene, but I'm wondering if the idea is that specific types of blood are more appealing to vampires versus just others.
Certainly seems that way.
Yeah. Well, especially with what we learn later on about vampires and how their powers actually work and how blood actually works as far as they're concerned. Because it's more than just they drink blood and that's it. Hell, Alucard's immortality is basically just that he has eaten so many souls. He has so many souls inside of him. Outside of that, you get a brief. So you get a brief scene of Anderson complaining about information leaking to the Nazi vampires, and it's just him. It's just him standing over like a pile of corpse of the vampire corpses, because
Hmm.
obviously he is on another level.
Right.
And yeah, but
Hmm.
you get a bit of information with the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church already know what the target is, which is they know that England is being targeted by the vampires, and that Maxwell has a plan, a non-specific plan.
He sure does.
Oh, this is another interesting thing. Alexander is very angry that Maxwell didn't argue back when the colonel said their god was crazy. Which is, once again,
Hmm.
it highlights kind of. Alexander is a villain. He is actually kind of pissed with Maxwell there. Like, Alexander just wants to kill heretics. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't really care about any of the details of this or any of the politics of this. He's just like, look, there's heretics out there. I've got knives that haven't been stabbed into anyone yet. Outside of that, let me skip through this. And yeah, we get kind of like the implication of Maxwell's plan and that he wants a crusade. Which does seem to actually excite Anderson. And we get like vague notions that yeah, Anderson is going around and murdering heretics as he does. And that's when we get the ship runs into him. It runs into the thing. And we get the fight between Rip Van Helsing or Rip Van Winkle and Alucard. Which she just seems to be entirely batshit insane.
Oh, totally. And poorly equipped to deal with the situation.
Oh yeah, she's just fucking freaking out. She was not ready for this fight. Yeah, I'm just skipping through to see if there's anything else worth talking about. But yeah, in general, it's basically Alucard takes over Alucard wipes out everyone involved and takes over the battleship to slowly sail back to England.
Slowly but surely, he'll get there eventually.
I mean, this is clearly just the whole point of this was not actually to take the ship and do anything with it. It was
no, it's just get him out of the way for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which brings us, of course, to why they did that.
Indeed. Why would they? Why would they go through such effort and use so many resources, including one of their most major things? By the way, I forgot, there is a point where Alucard does just catch one of Rip Van Winkle's, like, unmissable bullets in his teeth. Because of course he does. But yeah, the reason is because they are attacking London. I think the next episode just fully opens up with the Zeppelins just flying over London and
they totally indulge in just portraying that.
Oh yeah. Like
which will save us a lot of time because a lot of it is just showing them just fucking burning London to the ground.
Yeah, they're burning London to the ground and murdering innocent civilians and I believe there's there is some important like events, but I think we'll probably be able to finish this off in the next like 30 minutes or so.
Probably a little soon. I'm gonna have to.
We get the Nazi speech, which is very much I want war. I've been fucking bored.
Waiting for it for a while.
Yeah. Look, the Colonel likes his war, and he likes it. He likes it well done. He actually likes it a weird amount. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, we get I believe it is the Zeppelins just flying over London is like the next major thing. Oh, this is one of those episodes I actually hate because it has a lot of the goofy scenes. That's another thing. Like the whole opening is just a goofy like scene. But yeah, you get like I believe you just get like British citizens just kind of sitting over, uh, uh, like drinks or whatever, probably at a bar, and then they get a glimpse of the of the Zeppelins, and they don't know what the fuck is happening.
Right.
Like, and it's funny because us knowing what's happening, and we also get this like situation room sort of like setup that I guess is supposed to be happening in like Buckingham Palace or somewhere like that. Yeah, and you get the implication of, oh my god, can you believe they're starting a war? And I believe the communications have been like vandalized. Because there is in fact a traitor in that council room. After that, yeah, you get the Nazis flying over London. And I believe you get the another speech, and then it's the Nazis doing their shit. Them doing what they do best. Which basically they just want to tear up everyone involved. But yeah, outside of that, we get a team is sent to. So it's a Vanguard team is sent to the Hellsing organization to bring down Hellsing, and then outside of that, the Colonel is taking like the main troops through London because they're kind of playing into the idea that that's their actual goal first. When I think realistically, yeah, they've already led Alucard out of the city. Other than that, the Nazis are kind of like, well, the Colonel is kind of like, be careful of that Seras Victoria.
Hmm.
I don't trust her.
Well, yeah, because other than Alucard, there's
Well, yeah, she's basically like, as far as we know, she's like the main true vampire involved, you know?
Hmm.
Like, she's definitely on another level than any of these other vampires as far as like actual capabilities. I mean, I guess maybe the chick that's sent to kill her has a lot of like extra powers, but she seems to have like magic separately. I don't think it's tied to the vampirism.
Right.
And yeah, and then we get them laying out all sorts of like British landmarks to that the Colonel wants blown up or burned down.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's essentially the Nazis are being like evil dickheads. Shocker. And I think they have like drones too. Something akin to drones at least. They have like planes that are like launched, and they are like a lot of this is just egregious scenes of like destruction and murder.
Yeah. That'll help shave some time. Because a
Yeah,
lot of it is just them fucking around.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I can just skip over that. I can just skip over that. I guess it establishes like, yeah, these people are more or less pieces of shit. If you had any like, if for some reason you didn't already figure that out. Outside of that, we get some of the Nazis do actually break into these like situation room. So that's a thing.
Hmm.
And like we figure out who the traitor among the situation room is, as they try to lock down Integra. Unfortunately, they did not know that Walter's power level is much higher than theirs.
Right.
He has actually he
I
does.
believe there's
I doesn't
the
he
car
just
chases this episode, or
I think so, but I think he also just kills everybody in the situation, all the enemies in the
well, yeah.
situation room in like a couple of seconds. It's funny too because Integra is just completely unimpressed by them. She's just like, oh, a bunch of newborn vampires, how cute.
Hmm.
It's interesting because her own power level is actually higher than them too. Like she is actually capable of being a combatant. She has some level of like capability to fight. We actually see her kill a few vampires later on. But yeah, she's just entirely unimpressed and shit talks them, and then just yeah, Walter kills everybody because of course he does.
Hmm.
Walter has that like terrifying power where you just can't see the attack coming until you're dead. That's kind of the big thing with it. Like there's no counter to Walter's ability.
You kind of just have to deal with them.
Yeah, like maybe a vampire could perceive it, but definitely not a vampire on these guys' level.
No.
And I mean, I guess he has been involved in the Hellsing organization for decades, and then we also learned some other things about him later on. I think one of the funniest things of this scene is when Integra like leans into the one like cowardly kind of like older, somewhat overweight uh ministers like,
Yeah.
damn, I could have sworn you would be the traitor. And the guy's just like, I may be a weakling, but I'm not a traitor. Like I may be powerless against them, but I'm not a coward. That's what he says. And yeah, outside of that, you have
Yeah.
Integra's like, all right, well, we have to get the fuck out of here. Well, and meanwhile, actually, Penguin has a like good moment here where he's like, no, I refuse to like flee and run away and abandon my people.
Yeah, no, he stays behind.
Well, he in fact offers to like run the equipment while they flee, and they're just like, no, no, you actually can't do that. Just stay in your seat. We'll to run the consoles, boss. You just get in the way. It's kind of funny because it's like he gets this like cool moment, but then it's also like, but boss, you can't actually run these computers. You don't know what the first thing about it. And also, we're not going to abandon you to save ourselves. It's kind of a good moment on both ends of that, you know?
Yeah.
But look, he is definitely no Neville what's the name of the guy from World War II? The one the cowardly one that didn't want to get involved, that didn't want to stop
Oh,
the Germans.
you mean
Neville,
the appeasement thing?
yeah, was that enabled?
It might have been Chamberlain. I'd have to look it
I
up.
think it's Chamberlain. I was like, no, I started saying it, but then I was like, wait, no, but is that the Harry Potter one?
Hmm.
I know they're both named Neville. No, it is Chamberlain. It is Chamberlain. I remembered. Yeah, he's like, I'm no Neville Chamberlain. I refuse to be Neville Chamberlain. I'm not going to actually appease the Nazis here. Yeah. And outside of that, yeah. Basically I do like you get like some good moments with him. He gets like actual development because he's kind of implied to be kind of cowardly and weak earlier on. And outside of that, Integra is like, oh yeah, I happen to have a piece of like silver blessed rounds. I'm gonna head out. So skipping back forward through that in the command center thing, I believe it's essentially Walter's being escorted. I just remembered this actually. The Nazis burned a swastika into the city.
Oh yeah, no,
Because of
that's a
course
highlight.
they did. Of course they did. Like full on, they went out of their way to do that. Which the funny thing, did you ever hear about that thing they did with the trees in real life? Like there was a bunch of
Oh,
like trees that they planted, and then specifically
oh
like
fuck, that's funny.
yeah, we only learned like
Years later.
decades later. But like it was like groves that the Nazis planted, where they planted the trees in such a way that they would become a swastika from the air. That's just one of those things you hear about, and you're like, they really did think that whole thing would last, didn't they?
Hmm.
But yeah, other than that, it's more egregious scenes of murder from the Nazis.
I think that's pretty much it, except for the car chase, right?
Yeah, I think most of what's left is car chase, and then you have the colonel is like eating steak while all of the murder is happening. And yeah, you have like all the and all then you also have all the fact that all the citizens of London are being turned into ghouls. You have the
Right.
cops that were trying to hold out valiantly, and then yeah, the swastika getting burned into the city.
Hmm.
And like honestly, yeah, the Nazis are just egregiously evil, because obviously they are. The cops are that's the scene I was thinking of. You have the cops that are like in like they like set up like cover around by like circling their vehicles essentially around like some kind of, I don't know exactly what it is, but it seems like it's just a choke point.
Right.
Or like trying to hold out. And but once they die, that's when Integra shows up and kills one of the Nazis. I remember that because she actually says, "Good job, lads. You fought for Queen and country." And it's clear that Integra is like kind of pissed off by this whole like that whole fit exchange particularly too. She clearly does like actually care for like British values. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously she does.
Hmm.
Outside of that, it's it's the car chase. Okay, yeah, we're on the car chase where Integra is specifically getting pursued because she is she is the main objective essentially. She's Alucard's master. She is like the main like vampire hunter in the city,
Yeah.
I I believe Walter is the one who has to stay behind and quote unquote sacrifice himself in order
Yeah.
for her to get away.
No, I think that's yeah.
Outside of that, I think we get Pendragon. We get Pendragon at in the box barricaded place after seemingly everybody else has died, and he's just got the detonator. And he's clearly,
And he fucking goes out like a king.
yes, he does. Well, it's interesting too, right? Because you actually get like flashbacks to him meeting Integra for the first. Well, I don't know if it's the first time, or at least the first time after her father's death.
Right.
And like she immediately kind of asserts herself in that same role, and you could tell he did actually have a lot of respect for her, and kind of a lot of, he's basically an uncle, you know. But yeah, he goes out like a king, blows the whole place sky high to kill the Nazis with him, to take the Nazis with them. Like, yeah, it's just, it is just king behavior. Or they're like, it's interesting because it felt like a large part of that character's arc was being kind of cowardly. So they, I like that they kind of wrap him up with like an arc, and yeah, after that, that's when we get Walter being like, "Oh, hey, I don't think I can actually take that man, but I can buy you enough time to get out of here,"
Right.
which we know is actually not true, but
No, but
I do believe
that ought to be for next time.
Walter does seem to care about Integra. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, he probably would have just killed her here. But yeah, it is interesting because this starts off as like a seemingly a scene where it's like, oh, because Walter's like, oh, it's you. I should have known it was you, and like you assume it's gonna be like a fight that like we see the ending of, but we actually
Yeah.
do not.
Hmm.
Which is kind of a sign of his actual betrayal. It's like we don't actually see that big fight. But yeah, outside of that, it is the car chase, which it is kind of interesting to have. Like, for one thing, I find it funny the Nazis are Naruto running.
Hmm.
They are. But yeah, like also I like that it like portrays the vampires as like particularly speedy and fast. Though they still are using they're using like German weapons still. They're using like essentially World War II weapons still.
Yeah.
But we do know the Nazis do have the aging thing, so I'm wondering if they just got a bunch of like old former Nazis and de-aged them before turning them into vampires. But yeah, basically what happens is they eventually, after a long chase scene, uh, corner Integra. We we see her just full on just kill one of them with the sword. She is kind of like surrounded, and then I believe that's when the Catholic Church shows up and saves her.
That's the wonderful cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, I'm sure they're here to be the heroes.
Hmm.
Definitely no hostile intentions from them.
Oh, never.
So I do like that it gives like Anderson like this like badass moment to like appear and yeah, obviously quotes strict scripture as he does.
Naturally.
I mean, it's funny he's even like called out for breaching orders here. He's just like, yeah, but you know, I'm still gonna do it.
Hmm.
Look, if God didn't want me to save the Hellsing woman, he would have damn well told me. But yeah, that's probably a good place to end it here because I believe that's
Yeah.
essentially the bulk of it. It's the conversation between those two, and maybe we can talk about just vague impressions and views now. Just real quick to round out the next probably like 5 minutes.
Suppose.
All
Do
right.
actually have some food waiting for me, so.
Oh, okay. I guess we can just do this quickly then. Yeah, once again, I think this this is one of those like iconic anime. I think it's particularly a great seasonal anime for Halloween. Like,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's good anytime, but yeah.
yeah, but it just has those vibes. You know, it's vampires. It's
Oh, yeah.
got the death and the blood and stuff like that. It's like I wouldn't call it horror though. I would probably
And
call it
Catholics.
more like, yeah, those are the scariest thing in the show.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wouldn't call it horror though. I would probably call it more like action horror, something like that. You know, like I don't think it
Yeah.
tries to be scary. I think it tries to be
Not
edgy.
really, no.
Yeah, I would call it more action than it is horror. It's definitely not an adventure story, but it is definitely like
I
I
think
mean,
action is fine.
yeah, action, maybe a little bit of thriller. Is that the right term?
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, it's particularly good. It's got amazing voice acting, whether you like dubs or subs. It's got
Oh, totally.
really good animation that's aged extremely well. Uh, the story itself actually works very well. There's a lot of setups to what the actual main goal for the villains is. Or even the goal. Like, you pointed out the chip thing, and I never noticed the way this chip looks. Like when you point it out, it's obvious, but it's like, oh shit, I didn't notice that. Because why would I? And I think Alucard's character and a lot of the other characters are very well established and well held to throughout the story, which is particularly interesting given Alucard's nature is he is a character that changes
Hmm.
over time because he obviously he absorbs more and more souls. But the entity that we know as Alucard is very much a solid character in his own right. Anderson himself is also a solid character. Integra is a very good character.
It's good all around.
Yep. Yeah, it's like the villains are just entertaining to watch, which is probably what you want for a story like this is entertaining villains. Especially because, like I said, yeah, they're just unapologetically evil, and we don't get that enough anymore. There's no, like, redemption story with these people. The Colonel isn't gonna be like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. It's like, no, he just loves being evil.
He's gonna discover empathy at 90.
Yes. And then he's gonna start a charity boxing event.
Hmm.
But yes, uh, that that's the thing. It's like, it it's very much what that sort of era of like kind of cheese. It's that very that sort of era and that sort of flavor of like cheesy fiction we used to get all the time and love, and I don't think was ever appreciated until much late. Well, I think it was appreciated, but I don't think we knew what we had until we lost it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've been watched this so far and enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching. Uh, if you guys
Indeed.
are irritated or side-eyeing us about the jokes, I don't know what to tell you. I think we've made it very
You go
clear.
pound sand.
Yeah, basically. Uh, but I don't know if you uh into
iDubbbz is right there on Twitch. He'll
yeah,
love you.
if your IQ is above room temperature,
I think you'll be fine.
make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and because
Fuck yeah.
yeah, like this is just that fun entertainment that we used to have. That if I feel like it's lost on us, that not everything has to be like high brow art, and I wouldn't even say this is
Right.
low brow. This is like mid brow. You know,
Hmm.
it's that right blend of like there's a lot of like intelligent things happening with the storytelling and setup, but it's also like edgy, cheesy fun.
Oh, totally.
But yeah. other than that, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a nice day. I'm gonna end it here so that Party can go eat his
Mhm.
food.
Yeah. Bye bye.